Silver Star Resort sits high above the Okanagan Valley, just a short hop from the beautiful city of Vernon, BC. This place offers ride-in, ride-out accommodation and a host of machine-built flow trails as well as hand-built tech trails. Truly something for every level of rider. This McDuff Rheeder designed slopestyle course is incredible. The sizes of the features range from medium to mind-blowing, and it's many riders' first opportunities to try out a world-class slopestyle course. We would like to acknowledge that we are operating on First Nations unceded territory, and we do so with the utmost respect for the elders that cared for it before our time. Good morning, Slopestyle fans. We are here live at Silver Star for the Crankworx Summer Series. My name is Derek Foose. I'm joined by Rory Hackett, and we're going to be bringing you all the action live today. Rory, how are you feeling about the event today?
I am excited, Derek. We've seen fireworks all week in practice. It's been nothing short of mind-blowing what we saw yesterday just in qualies, so I can't wait for the action. I think it's going to be unbelievable out here today.
Oh, yeah. We are in for a show. The weather is perfect. We've got sun, we've got blue skies. It's not too hot. It's, I'd say, just right. The Three Bears perfect porridge temperature for a slope-style event, and we've got a huge one today. We ran through qualifiers yesterday. We whittled it down to the top 16 men and top 8 women, and they are ready to go. This day is about to go off. Cannot wait. And speaking of going off, this place has been going off for 30 years. This is the 30th anniversary of the Silver Star Bike Park, which makes it one of the oldest bike parks on the planet. And Silver Star is so proud to have been bringing you the best mountain bike action for 30 years.
Individuals from all walks of life and all age groups enjoy the tranquil setting of this multi-purpose mountain resort.
Silver Star is the backdrop, but of course there's much more to play for than just today. The brand new FMB Gold Cup is in play for the first time ever. Rory, what's it all about?
Well, we have 3 events in this Gold Cup. New format, super exciting. IXS Dirt Masters already happened. Then we've got here in Silver Star, and then next week we go to Big White, the Tom Van Steenbergen course there. So, 3 events, a lot to play for. Gold Cup. And as you can see, we have our standings here right now. Tom Eisted, sadly, we will not see him in action here today, the winner of our first event. He had an injury sustained in Red Bull Joyride. But everyone else that you see on that list is here, is riding, very much in play for that Gold Cup right now.
Yeah, and one of these riders is going to earn the golden ticket, which is qualified for a spot on the FMB Slopestyle World Championship Tour for the entirety of next year. So that's a huge deal. All right, that's big picture. Now to the granular. Today, Slopestyle, the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star for Crankworx Summer Series. Describe the format. What do riders have to do? What are we going to see on course today?
Well, we are going to see traditional slopestyle format. We have 2 runs, best run counts. We'll see our women's field go first, followed by our men's field. And then we go back up, we re-rack in reverse order from, how their first runs went. We go again. And remember, best run counts, so it's all to play for. Even if you throw away that first run, second run is the one that's going to count.
And the drama will build throughout the day. Let's take a look, Rory, at our start list. This is the women who made it through qualifying that are going to compete today.
Yeah, that's right. Tons of exciting names, a veritable who's who of women's slopestyle mountain biking right here. We've got Renata Weiss. She's going to be kicking off our women's field, and then following up just everyone who you're used to seeing at the top level events. We've got Shaylin Reno, our current new world champion of slopestyle. So she's here. Patricia Druin, we sadly haven't seen much of her this year, but she is riding amazingly well in qualifying, so that's going to be super exciting. And then not to forget Alma Wigberg, winner of Red Bull Joyride. So, everyone is here. And then moving across to our men's field, super exciting. We've got Max Langell, left a little bit on the table, I think, yesterday. Ben Thompson, again, he had some trouble in his first run. It all came down to that second run. We saw some massive emotion from him, as he came through that finish line, just making that qualifying cut hugely difficult in this field here today.
Yeah, exactly. And then this last page, I mean, this is a veritable who's who of international slopestyle. Griffin Paulson, he's riding a little bit injured. He had a bit of a crash, well, more than a bit of a crash in practice yesterday, and definitely holding his hand after his run. He managed to get in through qualies. We'll see what he's got left in the tank as we move through. I mean, Nikolai Rogatkin, we saw him in practice this morning throwing down things that are going to blow minds. I mean, does he ever not blow minds? Rogatkin just going off. So cannot wait to see what we're going to see. This feature, Rory, was a huge factor in qualies yesterday.
Yeah, one of the most technical features on the course, and unique in that the riders are hit with it straight away. This is the first thing they're going to hit, this big whale tail feature, you know, amazingly technically difficult. And as you can see, riders already throwing down massive combo moves. Alma Vigberg with the backflip into the whale tail. It's one of the biggest moves that we've seen in women's slopestyle already, and it's happening here in qualies. We've got, you know, tail whips, opposite maneuvers, everything that you'd see on massive trick jumps happening into a whale tail. But that's not the only feature on this course, Derek.
Yeah, that's just the first one. So let's jump into the GoPro course preview where we can see the entire Brett Rheeder slopestyle course.
What's up, everyone? Nikolai Rogatkin here with Tom Eisted. We're out here in Silver Star for another slopestyle here. What do you think, Tom?
Course is running incredible. Sun is shining. It's going to be an epic weekend of riding.
Indeed, indeed. We're about to show you the course top to bottom. Hop on with us. All right, sweet. I'm going to follow Tom through the course. Tom, you ready?
Yeah, stay with me, buddy.
Here we go. Dropping. Okay, we're going to go fast right now. Got the pedals into one of the most unique whale tails in all of slopestyle. As we're blasting in, Tom is flipping in front of me. I'm going to give her a flip on the way out. And we get now into this nice trick jump here. Let's see what Tom's got. Spin, I'll spin as well. Okay, now we're going to slow down super heavy here. Slow as we can into the second part of the course. Tom is not hesitating at all. Up this easy drop. Maximizing speed here for the biggest trick jump on course. Let's see if this flips. Oh yeah, oh my god, massive! Now we're going into the surgeon's table. Gonna flip on. Okay. Cruise off. Turning it through this final curve. To the final jump. Here we go. Oh yeah! Wow, that course is running unreal. How was that lap, bro?
That's a good one.
Woo! Superstar slopestyle. You better be here on contest day. It's gonna be sick, yes sir.
Big run, let's go.
All right, well, see why this course is a rider favorite. It's built by riders, it's built for riders, and they love it. People are coming here to this comp specifically to be able to ride this course, and we are so excited. We are now in the final moments before our first rider kicks off the day. Rory, the crowd is building, the vibe is building. This is going to be a magic day for slopestyle.
Oh, we had nervous excitement all around out here on course here today. I can't wait to see what we're about to see.
All right, well, buckle up, Silver Star, because this show is about to kick off. It is Crankworx Summer Series. It is the Rheeder Slopestyle, and it starts right now.
The moment we've been waiting for is here. We are live. It's the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star. Crankworx Summer Series absolutely firing. These riders qualified through into finals from yesterday. Our first rider in the gate is Renata Weiss, the Chilean rider. Locked in her spot yesterday with a great run on this extremely challenging and technical course, and now we are underway, or we're ready to get underway. Rory, solid run from Renata yesterday. We're ready for her to light it up on this course. We've had a bit more practice. Everything's dialed, and we are on. First rider is on course.
Yeah, Renata looked really solid yesterday. Took a pretty chill first run and then ramped things up a little bit in the second. She's looking smooth onto that whale tail. And just keeping things smooth on the way off as she gathers speed into that trick jump. Big tuck no hand, a great extension on that one, Derek.
Throw in the hands, getting the judges' attention as we get a little bit of a moment to recover and reset heading into this big banister drop. The one-hander there for the Chilean rider, so now picking up a ton of speed into the big trick jump, up and over, perfect connection with the landing. Great start to the run here for Renata.
Yeah, keeping things smooth up onto the surgeon's table and styling it out off. So important to get good speed into this last trick jump, taking off the feet, big no footer. So nice variation of tricks. Renata getting a solid one top to bottom. That's got to feel good.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can see the look on her face in the finish area. Describe the relief, the feeling that the riders go through when they've put down a top to bottom. I mean, it's just emanating off her, that relief, the stoke, all of it kind of together.
Yeah, and she just gave us a little bit of a, I'm going to go back up, do that again, and I think we're going to see a little bit more from Renata on the next run. But yeah, it must feel amazing. You know you're first to go, first to drop. So difficult, so nerve-wracking, knowing that you're going to be the one to open up this day of competition. So amazing work from Renata out there, and I can't wait to see what else she's got for us.
She's throwing big love back to the folks at home in Chile, 66-67. So Renata will be into the hot seat. She's going to be the #1 rider. Of course, she dropped first, so she is sitting pretty now at the top. We are looking back here at Zoe Witwicky, only 15 years old. She is well, I won't say she's new in the slopestyle scene because she's competing in a gold level event, but she has been blowing minds, lighting things up on the course and having a blast doing it, riding with her good friend Natasha Miller, having fun out here and just keeping the vibe kind of chill. You know, these young athletes, they're new to it, but they're having a blast out here doing it. So Zoe Witwicky now on course at the Rheeder slopestyle.
Yeah, a little bit of a tie grab onto the whale tail and a toboggan off, so combos, well, throwing tricks on and off already. Big one-footer, just kind of tweaking it out there. Love that style.
Yeah, so the riders, you know, a lot of them will use this first run just to ease into the day. They have had a bit of practice earlier on, so slowing things down here off the banister drop. And now Zoe is into the second half of the run where things start to get technical again. This jump absolutely huge. And Zoe throwing the hands off the bars, racking up some points, getting the judges' attention now. She comes into the surgeon's table.
Yeah, I love that lazy style on that big Sui no-hander. As she comes into the big last trick jump. Tuck no-hander, so two different styles of no-hander there. Mixing it up. Solid run again. So women's field already heating up here today. 15 years old. I don't know what I was doing at 15, but it wasn't this.
Yeah, we look back here, Rory, at the replay. Zoe tricking in and out of the whale tail. The judges are going to like that because every opportunity you get to throw tricks, they're going to throw points at.
Yeah, that one-footer there, just styling it out a little bit. Keeping things smooth off the banister drop. And I love that big Sui no-hander that she did on that giant trick jump after that.
Yeah, you can't say enough about the difficulty and the technicality of these features. So score for Zoe Witwicky, a 76. So big step up for Zoe. She looks relieved and happy about that as she's now going to catch her breath and she gets to chill while the rest of the women's field are still sitting in Stress Town waiting for their runs to go as we go back up and we have Natasha, it looks like Kathy Kuipers, sorry. Kathy, the German rider, she's been a mainstay in the dirt jumping and slopestyle community on the women's side and have been a huge part of the push to get slopestyle up to this level for the ladies. And now Kathy here, she's been having a blast riding this course. She's been a real mentor for some of the younger riders, which is extremely exciting, but nowhere near done. Kathy is on course now, heading into the whale tail.
Yeah, just getting the left hand off there on that first step up and reaching for the toboggan on the second. Slinging the bars, nice bar spin on the step up there. So super technical trick to start her run off.
Yeah, now Kathy can slow down. You really don't need a lot of speed for this banister drop to land right at the top of the transition, but you do need to land up there to get enough speed for the big trick jump. And Kathy throwing the 3-star, only 1 point of connection with the bike on that one as she comes in now up onto the surgeon's table with the T-bog. So adding tricks here, Rory, on just about every feature.
Yeah, she's looking pretty strong right now as she comes into that final step over. Big tuck no-hander. And another solid top-to-bottom landed run for Kathy. So you can see the smile on her face there. She's stoked to put that one down. Little pump of the fist, and she'll be able to go back up there and build from that, Derek.
Yeah, that was a great run, and she added the tricks. I mean, we can't talk enough about the difficulty of starting a slopestyle run with that whale tail feature. It's so technical, it's so difficult, and many slopestyle courses ease riders into their run, but not this one. The devious mind of Matt McDuff and Brett Rheeder putting together that extremely difficult and technical feature right off the bat. The amplitude into that feature, absolutely enormous. So big smile on Kathy Kuiper's face as we wait for the scores from the judges. This is a huge day of slopestyle. The weather is perfect, the course is perfect. Score coming in a 71, 6-7 for Kathy. So she is sitting right now in second place, just behind our current leader, Zoe Witwicky.
Yeah, I think the judges really rewarded Zoe for that technical combo in that whale tail at the top. You know, definitely counts to do your tricks on the tougher features, so just keeping things smooth. But right now we are moving up, back to the top of the course to Natasha Miller, another young Canadian rider. She's been showing us some amazing stuff recently.
Yeah, Natasha rode great yesterday in qualifying. She earned herself a medal in the pump track earlier on. She was on the podium at Red Bull Joyride. She has had quite a little 2-week session here on her mountain bike, and Natasha Miller is now just waiting to kick things off. She's been having a good time on this course. She's got some combo tricks. She's tricking pretty much every feature and doing it all with style. So Natasha Miller now kicking off her campaign here at Crankworx Summer Series.
Yeah, nice toboggan on the first. Big Sui no hand, a massive extension on that, so judges are going to love that. Clean bar spin from Natasha. We are used to seeing her throw those, but man, is it impressive. She has started her run with a bang.
Yeah, already stepping things up from yesterday. Little table there off the banister drop so she can carry speed, pumping those features. A huge tuck no-hander on the trick booter. So Natasha Miller, she is stepping into the pressure today, spinning the bars onto the surgeon's table.
Yeah, hugely consequential maneuver there. Amazing stuff from Natasha Miller. Love to see her stepping things up as she goes into that final jump. Giant Sui no-hander, huge extension on every one of her tricks. Judges are gonna love that.
Well, great run from the young Canadian slopestyler as she wraps things up. She's smiling, just chilling as well as we go through this replay, Rory. Every single feature for Natasha had a trick. There's going to be scoring opportunities all the way down, and that tuck no, or the Sui no-hander out of the whale tail. That is so technical, difficult, and not to mention scary.
Yeah, and that T-bog she threw at the top too, done very properly. Bar spins, big extension on the no-handers. So the judges rewarding that 83.667, big score for your first run.
Oh yeah, so Natasha Miller moving into first now. Zoe Witwicky sitting in second, Kathy Kuiper's in third. Natasha, our current leader, we're halfway through the first run of women's slopestyle here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star. We're back up to the top. French rider Lisa Marie Blanc, we saw her joining us at Red Bull Joyride. A great day for her. This young iLab rider is on the way up. She's coming up big time, and right now we're seeing her push off out of the gate into the whale tail to start her run.
Yeah, getting the hands off into the whale tail and pumping. Big fully clicked X up on the way down. Chuck in the backflip, just holding on to things there, but smooth, kept the feet on the pedals. Used a little bit of back brake there, but first inverted maneuver we've seen in our women's field here today.
Yeah, so exciting seeing this field just blow up. A T-bog off the drop, so we haven't seen many of the women's riders tricking that one, but she is a big flip over the trick jump. That's the second rotation in her run. This run going great for Lisa Marie, airing up onto the surgeon's table. Big drop down, getting one hand off, so she's adding the technicality to all of these features as she comes into the last money booter.
And another massive backflip, just blowing the feet off a little bit there, but 3 backflips, 1 run. That second one was absolutely huge, absolutely perfect as well. So a tiny little bobble on that last one, and a couple of tricks where, you know, maybe lacking a tiny bit of an extension, but I think those massive inverted maneuvers, fully clicked X-ups, that was a huge run from Lisa Marie Blanc.
Big time, yeah. She is showing that she is not afraid of the pressure, the big event day pressure for her. She's gobbling it up in that gigantic backflip over the big trick jump. So Lisa Marie now is finished, just relieved to have that first run done. Once you kind of open faucet up, you can get the tricks flowing, you can get the smooth style flowing, all feeling good there for Lisa Marie as we're going to wait for her score to come in. Very interesting moments here. So we are running in reverse order to qualification finish. So here we go. Score dropping for Lisa Marie, 88.67. So Lisa Marie into the hot seat, sitting on top with a huge score there. I think higher than the highest score we saw out of qualies yesterday. So the women's field really stepping things up today as expected. Back up to the top, the current slopestyle world champion, taking the consistent route across the entire globe and finding herself on top of the throne at the end of the season. This is Shaylin Reno. She has been blowing our minds all season long. One of the first riders to put down top to bottom runs in any training session on a new slopestyle course. She's just got the eye for these jumps, understands the speed, can figure it out. Then she's towing other riders in. But Shaylin now doing her part to put herself into the conversation for podium here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star.
Tug no-hander into the whale tail, and a 1 foot X-up classic trick coming out of it. Just getting the feet off there, a bit of a no-footer, maybe looking for a little more.
Well, riders often using this first run again just to ease into the competition. She comes into the banister drop, X-up, nice clean landing. She got to hold the wide line to hold speed for this jump where she gets her leg over the bar there, so the 1 foot can. Shaylin Reno adding tricks all the way across the board. X up onto the surgeon's table.
Yeah, just getting that late X up in there, making sure it did not go untricked. And a nice tug no-handed to X up. Solid combo. So again, another solid run. These ladies absolutely lighting it up already here today.
Well, let's look at the replay here. The big trick onto the whale tail. Again, riders really backing themselves. It's a high risk but high reward to trick that very, very first feature of the run. So Shaylin Reno definitely backing herself on success for that one.
Yeah, feet just coming off there. We know that she loves those. And then, yeah, it was actually a no-footed can. Just tough angle to see there, but getting both feet off. Beautiful no-foot can. Back to the pedals.
She loves it. All smiles in the finish for Shaylin Reno as we wait for the judges to have their say. And don't forget, Silver Star, when you see something you like, get behind these riders. They thrive on your energy. They are having a blast out there, and they know you are too. So the judges now getting to work. One of the toughest seats in the house today at Slopestyle, as this field, both women and men, absolutely stacked with talented, hungry riders. Everybody wants a piece of that top step of the podium, and the riders are doing their part for that right now. So judges just crunching the numbers. They have the criteria that they're looking to check off. An 80.33 there for Shaylin Reno. So she moves into third just behind Natasha Miller. Lisa Marie Blanc's high score there of 88.67. Unbothered so far, but we are back up to the top. Another young rider, 17-year-old German rider, Patricia Druin. We haven't seen much of her on the Crankworx Tour this year, but she's, I'd say, safe to say, back with a vengeance. Patricia was absolutely flying yesterday in qualies and in practice. We've seen so many great runs, bar spins every which way, and she is entering the whale tail now.
Yeah, speaking of bar spins, that's a bar spin, 2 bar spin, and another one, but the other way. So showing the judges that she can do it both ways. That's so technical. Giant tug no-hander, 2 bar spin, huge combos on all 3 of the first features, really upping the level in that top section.
Oh, so crisp, too. Never looking like she's putting a foot out of place on these runs. Patricia spinning the bars down the banister drop. That's one of the most technical tricks we've seen on that one. Flying over with a huge extension on the Sui no-hander. Patricia Druin lighting up this course.
I love the style on that lazy but giant no-hander, and still just tricking every feature, getting the T-bog off the drop there as she comes into the final jump. I think Sui no-hander to late bar spin, so massive combos for Patricia all the way. The style, absolutely electric. Amazing run for Patricia. We'll see how the judges stack up those big combo moves against the inverted maneuvers of Lisa Marie Blanc.
Let's look at the replay here. We see her spinning the bars twice around on the entry into the whale tail. and then spinning them twice around the other direction. So technical, so difficult, and so much just oozing with style all the way through. And we see her approaching this step up, just tossing the hands there and the late bar spin, Rory.
Yeah, so difficult to get that full extension on the tuck no-hander when you know that there's a bar spin that you still got to chuck. So unbelievable technical ability for Patricia. And just look at this Sui no-hander. Holds her hands off, has enough time to, I don't know, make a cup of tea up there in the air before coming back down. Steezing out the landing. Amazing run for the young German rider.
So stylish. All right, well, here we go. The score coming in at a 94 for Patricia Drew, and that is a huge score. The judges loving what they see. She moves into first place ahead of that 88.67 of Lisa Marie Blanc, so that is an enormous, enormous score. We do have some news. Alma Vigberg went down hard in practice, so unfortunately we're not going to see her taking to the start gate in competition, which means we are moving into the men's field, and Max Langiel riding first for the men. We've seen him in practice absolutely lighting it up. He was our bubble boy yesterday in qualies, but we know he can jump way up the rankings if he gets one of those runs that he's got in his pocket. This guy has so many banger tricks, all black everything here, the blacked out lens, looking fresh, style above all else, and we're going to see that in his riding as well as we wait for the first rider in the men's field. Max, we saw him in Red Bull Joyride, and now we're seeing him here today at the Rheeder Slopestyle on the sunny slopes of Silver Star.
Backflip, bar spin to tuck no-hander, landing deep and unfortunately going down there. So we hope that Max is all good. He's on his feet already. Great to see. Hopefully he is A-okay. That's a nasty place to go down.
Yeah, well, you could see his bike shoot off the other side of the whale tail. Looks like he's got some pain in his shoulder. The first aid team, we've got the best crew in the business, medical team, bike park patrollers, all on site and right up close on every feature. So they're going to get him checked out. Hopefully Max is going to be all right. Definitely taking that deep into the landing of the whale tail. And we talked about this before, Rory, how difficult it is to start a slopestyle run with one of the most challenging features out there in the slopestyle world.
Yeah, just a lot of adrenaline coming into this run and just maybe a little bit too much speed. He boosted it super high. Massive no-hander out of the bar spin in the backflip. And as you can see, just landed pretty deep. And then you just got to get your hands back on the brakes there, but you're already coming off the side. And that's what makes this whale tail just such a high consequence, difficult maneuver to start your run on. So hopefully Max is okay. He'll get checked out by our medical staff here. And I hope to see him clean it up, go back up there and ride again. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Well, that is the first rider in the men's field. We, of course, have 16 riders here at Silver Star for the Rheeder Slopestyle. Brett Rheeder designing and building this course with his good friend Matt McDuff and the Silver Star Bike Park Trail crew. An absolutely magic course. The riders love to come to ride this. You see the score there for Maxwell, of course. Not much in it as he didn't get past the first feature, so we'll get him the attention that he needs, and hopefully we'll see him again, if not later today, then certainly later in the slopestyle season. But we are back in action. Friedger Schoenberger, this guy finishing 8th here last year, locking in a position in finals with his big performance yesterday. We can't understate how difficult it was just to get into finals. You had to be essentially a score in the 80s. I think it was just Max, who was just under at a 79, and everyone else riding in the 80s. As Friedger is on course now.
Backflip Superman seat grab into the whale tail. Massive trick as he throws the bars twice. Backflip double bar spin. Huge combo to get things started. And a right side cork 720 to bolts.
Yeah, Friedger now can slow things down and take a breath. You don't need a lot of speed to reach the landing of this drop. You see him just coming into sight, catching the breath, resetting the mind and body as Friedger spinning 360 way down the landing on that one, even though he wasn't going that fast. Now picking up speed, laying out the backflip, tucking it in and spinning the bars. So comboing the tricks up. Big spin, truck onto the whale tail, Rory, or the tail whip off. So he's locking in here.
Yeah, big combo moves, carrying lots of speed. Left side cork 7, just coming up a little bit short. So Friedger through the right side cork 7 up top, backing it up with that left side. just wasn't quite able to squeeze the rotation around there. So being able to spin both ways, unbelievably technically difficult. And we'll see that beautiful backflip Superman C grab onto the whale tail. I cannot stress enough how gnarly that is. Backflip, bar spin to bar spin. Big combo move to be doing on a step down.
Yeah, that was huge. And then unfortunately, on the final feature coming unstuck, there you see him spinning the first direction on the replay. So being able to spin those corks in both directions, 360 off the banister drop, maybe a tiny bit over rotated there, but didn't seem to affect his speed.
Yeah. And just missing that tug no hander there a little bit. So maybe playing into the head games a little bit. Frigga's opposite rotation is counterclockwise. So that last one was actually his opposite, whereas you saw him do his regular spins through the rest of the run. So 45.67. Obviously, just going down on that last one. So Frigga will be looking to that second run to go up there and lay another one down.
Well, we are moving on through the field here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star. We're looking at Anton Linder. Anton had a tough first run and then a great second run yesterday to move himself into that top 16, and he is on course now, picking up speed towards the first feature.
360 triple truck. Oh, just missing the pop on that backflip.
Oh, Anton going down there. So again, the medical team heading down to check in on the young Swedish rider. Looked like a very slow rotation, as you said, Roy, just missing the pop, and then he couldn't quite complete the rotation.
Yeah, huge trick on the first. Throwing the bars 3 times, just went pretty big. And maybe not quite getting the pump that he needed, looking like he almost went to go and kind of get a pedal in, and then just didn't get that pop that he needed. So you can see him tucking up in a ball, trying to get that flip around, but not quite enough rotation and hitting the deck hard. So we will hope that he is okay and is able to keep things going here today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a clear indication of how difficult this sport really is. These are truly the best riders in the world, and everything has to go exactly right in your run, and they are so skilled, so talented, and so calculated in their decisions, but still things can go a little bit off, a little bit haywire. So our young Swedish rider being seen to by the patrol team here at Silver Star. As we are looking now back up to the top to Jaden Chipman, young Canadian rider. You can see that Joyride 150 logo on the front of his bike. He has been kind of really coming up through the scene, and he's got some great mentors in the Canadian slopestyle scene to help him along the way. Jaden looking to make a big splash here. As we said, this is the second stop in the Gold, the FMB Gold Cup. It's brand new this year, and the winner getting that golden ticket into the FMBA Slopestyle World Championship Tour for the full season. So there's a lot at stake, both for today, but also in the bigger picture for some of these young riders. A good result here can really blow up your career.
Yeah, I think it's a massive day for all of these riders, especially those ones that you're not quite as used to seeing, you know, in our highest level events. But this event absolutely stacked. I mean, Jaden, who's going to be dropping next, really impressed us yesterday. And we're seeing huge combo tricks, massive link ups from our entire field, really. I mean, just to make it into the finals yesterday was quite the tall order. So yeah, crowd really filling in here right now, Derek. Packed house on this beautiful course.
Oh, well, what better thing there is to do on a gorgeous BC day, the beginning of August. Silver Star absolutely going off. We'll just remind you that there is a total fire ban in BC right now, so there's absolutely no smoking, no fire of any kind out on the course, out in the woods. We want to keep this this forest green and not have it catch on fire. So please, no smoking, no fire, no anything out there on the course. If you're enjoying, of course, have a blast, cheer for the riders, but we want to make sure that things stay pristine in the forests of BC right now, as it has been hot and sunny for quite a while.
If it's possible for Chris to come and just switch live feeds to the man, I'm not sure how to do it on this computer.
Well, we will keep you up to date when we get some information about how Anton is doing. We've got the best medical team in the business on site, bike park patrol, as well as the rest of the rescue crew. So we'll keep you posted once we know. We're just a couple of riders in. We've had 3 in our men's field and a full pull from our women's field. So definitely finals fever looking like it's kicking in here for some of these riders. You know, everybody needs to take a breath. All these are truly the best slopestyle riders in the world. But competition day, the nerves really stack up, and it can be hard to just go through the routine, do what you know how to do, and remember that you're actually awesome at this.
Yeah, it's so tough to just link everything together. A lot of these riders will have performed a lot of these moves in practice, but they're not really doing top to bottom, linking them all together, or most of them are not. So to be able to go do that and one-up yourself from what you did in qualifying yesterday, and, you know, we saw massive tricks getting thrown from the get-go. So tough to link it together, and, you know, even if there wasn't the adrenaline factor and the, you know, what's at stake here with the Gold Cup, it would be hard to just make yourself perform and do it under pressure with the big crowd, with the live feed. So such a tough challenge out here today. Our women's field just throwing it down, honestly. Just cannot speak any more highly about what they were able to do in that first run. So we will be...
Yeah, we'll take a look here at our standings after run number 1 on the women's side. So Patricia Druin dropping last and dropping that 94-point run. So technical, so difficult. Lisa Marie Blanc with a huge run too. 3 backflips in the run, all the biggest and most difficult features. Natasha Miller, the young Canadian rider, getting into... I mean, we have scores in the 80s that aren't even looking at the podium right now. Such is the quality of the field here and the difficulty it is to actually get yourself in the mix for a podium in slopestyle right now. This is the first year that we've seen the women on the full world tour, and it's going so well. As we look back at some highlights from the first run, Rory.
Yeah, Renata, our first rider to go. So yeah, just missing a couple of tricks at the top there, but she was able to add some later in her run. Our youngest rider, Zoe Witwicky, chucking the toboggan out of the whale tail there.
Yeah, I like the way she pulls it in, locks in, so she's able to get the hands off the bars without the bike dropping away from her. Definitely veteran move from the young slopestyle athlete.
Yeah, speaking of veterans, Kathy Kuipers there, just linking up a top to bottom run. And Natasha Miller, another of our younger riders out there, proper toboggan on the way in and full extension, a real hallmark of her riding now.
So stylish. Now we look right now at the woman who is sitting in second with such an incredibly technical and challenging run. The slopestyle world champion, of course, Shaylin Reno, blasting through her run, going absolutely huge. And that no-foot can, Roy, I love that. Bringing this style to slopestyle and keeping things all the way stylish. You can see the crowd is just building here. Nobody having anything else to do. There is nothing else to do on a Monday. If you're anywhere close to Vernon, this is where you want to be, on the slopes of Silver Star Mountain. One of the things that we've been talking quite a bit about is the resort's ability to keep this setup through the winter. They don't have to rebuild it year after year like we see at some of the other slopestyle stops, and it allows the course to just get so bedded in. It's so nice. There's never any issues with speed or anything. And without the rebuild, you know the features are going to work when you're kind of coming into a competition. It also allows for some slopestyle camps and for some up-and-coming riders to get an opportunity to ride a world-class course outside of competition.
Yeah, we saw earlier in the week some of our young future superstars, some riders I believe as young as 12, 13, 14, who are out here on the course throwing down. Brett Rheeder out there kind of mentoring them and showing them the way, and we saw massive tricks from these young riders. So no doubt we'll be seeing them in the start gate pretty soon. I mean, looking at someone like Zoe Witwicky, who's already here, age 15. So amazing to see what those guys were able to do earlier in the week. Yeah, one kind of major change that they did make to the course this year is just a bit of a relocate of that last jump, that final giant step over. And if you are here on course, you will see how big that thing is. Giant lip, huge step up, perfect for massive tricks. But yeah, just a bit of a move of that landing from one side to another, just so the riders could carry all the speed that they need to carry out of that final surgeon's table drop and into it. So I think a change for the better as far as the riders are concerned, and as far as we as slopestyle fans are concerned too.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I think it's something that's actually sometimes undervalued in the slopestyle riders' bag of tricks is the actual technical bike handling skills, not in the air, but actually on the ground. The ability to corner in many of these courses gives the riders the speed they need to make the jumps and to be able to throw the tricks that they have in their bag. So that deep bag of bike handling skills, outside, of course, of the gymnastic requirement for that every slopestyler needs to have when they're in the air, but you can see them when they're moving between feature to feature, and even from the start gate down to the whale tail, they're pressing, they're pumping, they're angling their bike through the corners. They've got such a dialed set of skills on their bike that allows them to do the things that we love to watch, which is what happens when they're in the air.
Yeah, I think it's important that we keep the mountain bike in mountain biking here. You know, we've got BMX dirt, which obviously amazing to see the level of tricks that are getting thrown over there. But here in mountain biking, it's awesome to see people who can actually ride corners. And, you know, we saw two of our top athletes in the women's field, Shaylin Reno and Natasha Miller, out there putting in work on the pump track earlier this week and taking the gold and silver in that event respectively. So shows that those girls know how to, you know, hit a transition. They know how to work a corner, and, you know, skill is skill on the mountain bike. And that's going to really help them when they're trying to carry speed through this course here today.
Absolutely. So we're getting some views here of the Silver Star Bike Park. 30 years of mountain biking at Silver Star, one of the oldest bike parks, well, really anywhere. I can't think of any bike park that's been operating more than 30 years. A great use of the ski resort resources in the summer. For a long time, ski resorts would just sit dormant for the whole summer. And, you know, the folks at Silver Star loading bikes onto chairs way back before it became the norm and every ski resort had to have a bike park. And now definitely one of the top bike parks on the planet, a must-stop destination for any trip to Canada. And these riders in the slopestyle enjoying doing some laps outside of slopestyle training out in the Silver Star Bike Park as well. Of course, we had the BC Cup and Canada Cup riders that were here to race over the weekend. Finals went down yesterday. Extremely exciting racing while we were over here on the slopestyle course. And many of those BC Cup and Canada Cup riders sticking around to enjoy the show today at the Brett Rheeder Slopestyle.
Yeah, good call, I think, with the level of talent and action on display out here today. So, yeah, big shout out to the Silver Star trail crew for the quality of the building that they're doing out there. You know, one of the most fun places you can come and ride a bike. I would urge you, if you haven't been here, make that part of your bucket list trip. Get out here, come ride the Silver Star Bike Park. So much fun in there. I believe they have more than 400 jumps, so plenty to tickle your fancy out here. Berms, left, right, and center. There's gaps, and you can see, because it creates the quality of rider that is coming out of this bike park. Tons of local shredders out here. An amazing place to ride a mountain bike.
All right, we will keep you updated when we know exactly what's going on there with the Swedish rider Anton Linder going down on that first whale tail feature. Medical team is with him, checking on him, and we will keep you posted as we get reports. So we are here live at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silverstar Crankworx Summer Series. It is the second stop on the FMB Gold Cup. Lots of action at stake. We earned our way here into finals through qualifying yesterday. We had 26 men and 11 women dropping in and whittled it down to 16 men and 8 women. So huge day of slopestyle in front of us as we are just about ready to get back to riding. We've wrapped up our women's field. They absolutely blew our minds with run number 1. We're only halfway through. Of course, run number 2 coming up for the women, but we are heading back to the top now where we see Jaden Chipman lined up in the start gate, young Canadian rider with a solid run yesterday to earn his way here, and now looking to lock in and get things done here. The mental preparation going through, always, you just got to get into that routine and then do what you know how to do. These riders are all so skilled and so talented, so mentally dialed that they're able to perform these superhuman feats on these incredible courses. Not only able, but they absolutely love to do it. This is their passion, riding bikes and just flooring us with their incredible feats.
Yeah, the level these days just absolutely through the roof. Amazing to see what, depth of field we have here now. We have riders that you're used to seeing all over the place, and then you've got, people that we haven't seen as much of on the world stage, but showing that they very much belong. Jaden Chipman earning his way here with some amazing riding yesterday, so can't wait to see what he has for us in his first of 2 runs. All right, and it looks like we are back to live action here. Jaden Chipman dropping in for his first run. Big backflip to tuck no-hander into the whale tail, going a little deep, but plenty of speed for a triple truck driver, 3 bar spins, plus a 360 as he goes into that step-up. Big cash roll. Wow, make some noise, Silverstar. What a way to kick things off for his run. Love the axis of the rotation on that cash roll, Derek.
Oh yeah, that was huge. Jaden Chipman now approaching the banister drop with the tail whip down. So backing himself to land that as he launches into this trick jump, Rory, and just a little bit short there.
Yeah, coming up way short there. I don't know if he just lost out on a little bit of speed. So we will wait to see. Yeah, unbelievable start to that run. I mean, he is pumping the fist. He's okay. Bit of a scary one for Jaden there. Just didn't have the speed that he needed as he pulled into that flip whip. I think he knew he was looking for a little bit more in that trick. And yeah, he had to just push the eject button there as he did not make it to the place he wanted to land. I'm glad to see him up and on his feet, and he'll have another go at that in round 2.
Yeah, it was hard to see where he did land. As we take a look back at the replay, a really strong start to this run.
Yeah, landing a little bit deep there, but massive extension on the backflip bar spin to tug no-hander, and then count him 1, 2, 3 bar spins with a 360, super technical trick on the step down. And then I loved this cash roll here. 720 degrees of spinning with a kind of forward corked axis, so super technical trick, and then a tail whip off the drop. You can see him recenter his feet on the pedals. Looked like he had good speed there, but then maybe just missing a little bit of a pump as he came in. And then, yeah, just didn't quite get the pop he needed. Went super high, but not super far. And then you'll see he just came up very short. And man, I'm glad to see that he is okay, because all of that forward and upward momentum just came to a crashing halt and an avalanche of dirt. So he did not make it to the other side of that landing.
Yeah, well, hopefully Jaden's okay. The score of 31, so definitely not indicative of what Jaden Chipman has in his bag. He's smiling, though, as he's just trying to get the dust off his kit, and he's going to reset himself for run number 2, where he is going to have another opportunity. It's the glory of the 2-run format. He can go back up and do it again Speaking of do it again, this man needed his second run yesterday to earn himself into the finals, which he did, much to the joy of his good friends that we saw down or at the top waiting for Ben Thompson to drop. So Squamish's own, this young man blew up on the scene last year. He's having an absolute blast riding on the World Tour slopestyle around the globe. Now Ben here in his backyard. Silver Star, of course, just around the corner from where he grew up in Squamish. So young Canadian rider, Canadian slopestyle in a great place right now with so many riders just bringing the heat. And Ben Thompson now on course and heading towards the whale tail.
Yeah, throwing the double whip in, 360 bar to tail whip. Backflip, bar spin, bar spin, bar spin, that's 3. So triple bar spin, backflip, super technical combo moves, as we've come to expect from the young Canadian rider.
Yeah, Benny traveling quite a bit to the left into the landing of that jump. Luckily, it's nice and wide, so no problem there for Ben as he does the fast plant 360. Tiny redirect on the landing now, picking up speed into this big trick jump.
Yeah, sorry, he looked like he was working for speed there, just kind of coming up a little short on the drop, but he's got that bar spin. And a big front flip tuck no-hander, one of the biggest tricks we've ever seen off a drop in competition. 360 bar spin.
Huge run there for Ben Thompson. That front flip tuck no-hander off the surgeon table. Not only is it a flat drop so difficult to do, but of course you've got barely any time to set it up. So looking back here at the replay of Ben's run, so many bangers in this from top to bottom.
Yeah, big double whip into the whale tail. And then we saw, you know, super technical moves out of the whale tail and up. Just having a look at the rest of his run. But man, that front flip, tuck no-hander off a flat drop, I can't even begin to express how difficult and scary that is. So he's got to be stoked with that move. We'll see if he can add to it. But a fully landed top to bottom run with the triple truck on that final jump. So we'll see what the judges make of that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the highest score we've seen so far for the men, going top to bottom with a bunch of bangers. As you said, there's definitely a few he can tidy up, but a solid run there for the Squamish rider as Ben now just waiting for the judges to have their say. He has done his part on run number 1. This is one of the most nerve-wracking parts of being a professional athlete, is waiting for somebody else to tell you what they thought of what you've just done when you've laid it down. But of course, that's what they sign up for when you go to slopestyle school. You have to take the waiting for the scores course. And Ben Thompson with an 80.67. So big score there for Ben with some huge, huge moments in that run.
Yeah, Ben showed us yesterday that he's able to kind of snatch victory from the jaws of defeat as he landed with his bars backwards on one of the jumps and then was able to hit the next jump with them, correct that, and keep the run going. And you know, we saw that there, a little small mistake, little tag with that fast plant 360 off the banister drop, was able to kind of salvage a backflip bar spin, keep the run going, and into that massive front flip tuck no-hander off the drop. But right now we are moving things along to our next competitor.
That's right. Aiden Siebenaler is in the gate, another young Canadian rider, part of this up-and-coming Canada slopestyle movement. And Aiden now on course, kicking off, just adding those little elements of style, making himself feel good as he approaches the first feature, the big whale tail.
Yeah, just kicking that double tail whip around and both ways double tail whips. Wow, such a technical link up into the whale tail. 4 tail whips already. As we have 360 bar spin to downside tail whip. Now he does blow a pedal there, but that does not mean his run is over. One of the only places on course you could do that, Derek.
Certainly the best spot to do it as he spins down, spinning the bars as well. Now picking up speed into the big trick jump, the double backflip, perfect connection with the ground. What an absolutely incredible trick mid-run here for Aiden as he's continuing now on and off the surgeon table.
Yeah, 360 bar spin up, tail whip off, little bobble of the pedals, 360 triple downside tail whip, massive banger trick from the young Canadian rider.
A few little messy sections in that run for Aiden, but made up for it at the bottom with that huge combo. Looking back here at the replay, double tail whip one way, lands perfectly on that whale tail, high up, lots of speed, and then Rory double tail whip back the other way. How technically difficult that is.
Yeah, unbelievable. Opposite double tail whips were winning best trick comps not that long ago, so to be able to link those up in one of the most technical features on the course. Unbelievable. 360 bar spin to downside tail whip. Just blowing a little bit of a pedal there, but then he kept things going. 3 bar on the banister drop, carrying good speed and able to make it into a giant double backflip. Spots the landing there at 1, flips the head round, spots it again. Perfect, and I'd love to see a replay of that final jump. 360 triple downside tail whip, one of the most technical moves we've seen ever.
Well, the score to beat right now. So score coming in for Aiden is a 75-3-3. So Aiden sliding in just behind Ben, and we know that run wasn't perfect for Aiden. He's got the opportunity to clean that up. The judges are looking for perfection here. It's not going to do it to have one big banger on one feature. You got to have perfection top to bottom, but there's definitely an opportunity for him to clean that up. Keep the feet on the pedals where they weren't last time. But we are nowhere near done. Jake Atkinson now in the start, one of the most exciting young riders in slopestyle right now. He is having a blast doing it, and we're seeing him now push off towards the whale tail. UK rider Jake Atkinson on course, Rory.
Yeah, Jake just pushing into that first berm. Cash roll into the whale tail. He's got to work for speed. Throw 360 triple bar, and he makes it to the landing. So just working for speed right now. Backflip bar spin. Looked like he wanted a little more, but he's going to keep things going.
Yeah, now he can get on the brakes, slow things down after the intensity of the first section of this course. Manualing in and manualing off the edge. Oh, man, you have to be perfect with that. If not, you're going down. Huge cash roll now on the trick jump. Jake Atkinson, he's on one, Rory.
Yeah, my heart was in my mouth on that manual. Just held onto it. Tail whip. I believe I was opposite tail whip up, and then 360 down off the banister drop as he works for speed into that final jump. 360 tail whip, holding onto it, and that is a landed run top to bottom. Couple little tweaks to be made in there, but he is on his feet down to the bottom. He's got to be happy to get that one done.
Wow, what a run for the young UK legend in the making. This opening move into the whale tail, the amplitude that he gets, he is just lofting up there. Still a little clip case on the back wheel, as you said before, a little maybe too high, a little not far enough, and then 4 on the exit of the whale tail?
Yeah, I think so. Tough to count it there. He threw the bars so fast. But yeah, just throwing bar spin there, and you can see him go to throw another, but maybe just didn't have quite the rotation he wanted. And this, I can't express how difficult and scary that is to pull the manual from the very start of the boards, hold it through the transition, and then off without dropping it. So scary. And then just giant on this right side cash roll.
Yeah, the Red Bull Money Booter providing some of the most memorable moments on this Rheeder slopestyle course. And wow, I mean, we're just seeing Jake Atkinson every single feature with some of the most complicated tricks, spinning down there and then picking up a whole bunch of speed into that final jump. So he's happy with that. The judges are going to get to work, as right now Ben Thompson holding down the top spot with an 80.67. That was barely enough to get you into qualies. As we see the score coming in for Jake Atkinson is a 70 flat, 70.00. So he moves into third right now, just behind Aiden Siebenaller in run number 1 of the Rheeder slopestyle here. This is incredible. We're seeing so many moments here as these riders just one-upping each other and themselves as we move on to another member of this up-and-coming Canadian slopestyle crew, Liam Bayliss. Solid run yesterday that we saw for Liam, the forbidden rider, on course now and speeding towards the whale tail, adding a little element of style. Judges like to see that, and it just helps you loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, Liam Bayliss chucking the bars on the backflip there, and then 360 bar spin to bar spin. 360 double downside tail whip. Big move on that step up.
Little breath catch. You can see this goes over a road and the fan's actually underneath as he spins the bars twice in his 360. Huge double backflip.
Oh, that was massive, and he just tucked it up and got it round. 360 bar spin to bar spin back. Super tech combo. Big flat drop, flat flip as he moves into the final jump. Front flip, tuck no hander, landed perfectly. Amazing style from the Canadian rider. And he looks happy with that one, Derek.
Yeah, happy, exhausted, relieved, all of the above as we look at the beginning here of Liam Bayless's run, just comboing it up. The bars spin twice, then the foot goes over the crossbar, all while backflipping the bike.
Yeah, I missed that one-footed can there the first time, but just kicked it, got good extension, 360 double bar, landing smooth, keeping that speed into that first step up.
When you can see how hard he was pushing for speed here, Rory, and once he got into the air, you start to understand why.
Yeah, 3 double downside tail whip, super technical, 360 double bar spin, kind of one-upping that classic 3-bar that we've seen on that one, and then a giant double backflip, spots it at 1, flips the head around, tucks it in, gets it round. Incredible aerial awareness from Liam Bayless there.
All right, well, yeah, full relief as he's smiling in the finish line. His job is done. Now the judges getting to work, crunching the numbers, going through the criteria. You know, they do have, all right, here we go. The run score for Liam Bayless, 86.33. So we have a new leader, the young Canadian rider, taking over the hot seat from Ben Thompson. That was a huge run, and the judges absolutely loving what they saw out there from Liam Bayless. All right, well, we are staying with the theme of Canadian slopestyle. Prince George's own. It is Griffin Paulson. Griff, one of the favorites of riders and fans alike, always having a blast out there. We saw him have a bit of a slam yesterday in practice, definitely favoring that right side. Hopefully all good for Griffin Paulson as he is ready to go. Fired up, one of the most electric and exciting men in slopestyle, and he is on course now, picking up speed, heading into this whale tail.
Yeah, Griffin Paulson is a warrior. Double backflip into the whale tail, lands it. Tuck no hander, just kind of getting through that one, but a huge trick into the whale tail. Backflip tail whip, catches it super high, so maybe looking for a little bit extra there, but he is on course and he is on one, Derek.
Oh yeah, he's connecting the dots. As you said, there's a few moments where you can see there's more potential in the trick, but he's going to lock in this first run. Flat drop backflip down that banister drop. It's not that high, and you don't have to go back very far to see. But when that was impossible, a massive double backflip there for Griffin Paulson. So he is cooking up a run here as he heads onto the surgeon table.
Yeah, front flip off that Province of BC drop. Gets it perfect. Can he lace this last jump? Front flip, lawn darting into it and throwing the bar spin and holding on. So Griffin Paulson laying one down. Remember, he is now our top contender in the Gold Cup that we talked about earlier, Derek, with Tom Eisted out. Griffin looking to put down a solid one to, you know, put down a stranglehold on this, and a massive double backflip into the whale tail will do nothing but help your cause.
He has so little time to set this tuck no hander up as he landed way down the landing. You can see there's probably something else lurking there that he's going to be able to unleash as we go. But the amount of time that he's on the ground before he's in the air again, so short, and then speeding into this step up, Rory.
Yeah, look how high he catches the whip on here. Boom. Plenty of time to do something else if that's what he wants to, but still a big trick. And a flat drop backflip off this banister drop. We haven't seen anyone else flip that one. Little bit of a, sounds silly to say, but kind of a small drop for these guys to backflip off. And then carrying in that momentum into a giant double backflip. Few of our riders favoring that trick on this big money Buddha.
Yeah, so lofty the air and really backing himself doing the double backflip on the very first feature into the whale tail. So a 78-point run there for Griffin Paulson. You can see the kind of reaction. He knows there's a few spots where he can combo up that he had single tricks. He's going to be able to add something else. So I'd say a bit of a statement of intent from Griffin as he moves into third, just ahead of Aiden Siebenaller. But we're back up to the top. Toby Miley, this young rider, had a fantastic run yesterday and then led out the party train for second run of qualies as he knew he was locked into a spot in finals. Well, that is today, and he is ready to blow our minds once again. The German rider always doing it with the fans in mind. You know, he's going so high. I think one of the highest, biggest amplitudes. He's hyping himself up. He's ready to go. That mental process you got to put yourself through to perform at the highest level. Well, that's done, and it is go time now for German rider Toby Miley.
Yeah, he's fired up, just throwing double flips for fun in the party train yesterday, so we'll see what he's got for us in this first finals run. Backflip, Superman seat grab, Indian air, and then 360 double tail whip out of the whale tail. Huge move. Right side, cork 7, so high, so well spotted into the landing. Perfect, massive start to the run for Toby Miley.
Yeah, connecting back right at the top of the transition, so no real big impact there. He knows exactly where he wants to land, and he's able to pull that as he slowly makes his way around the corner to start the bottom half of the run. Toby 360, throwing the bars, and now picking up speed into this money booter.
Tuck no-hander, double backflip, so high, massive banger trick for Toby Miley. Throwing the bars on the step up and off the province of BC drop. Flip whip off the drop and just going down.
Oh, Toby Miley, we were talking just recently that we haven't seen anybody doing a flat drop flip whip since Brett Rheeder. So the medical team is going to check in on Toby Miley, make sure that he's okay, as he was on one there, and it's been years, literally years, since we've seen anybody do a flat drop flip whip. So difficult, so technical. You got to loop your bike out and then throw it away from you.
Yeah, one of the most technical moves that we've ever seen on drops. Brett Rheeder was kind of the originator of this one, and obviously this is the Rheeder slopestyle course, so maybe Toby Miley, bit of a nod to Rheeder there. I love that backflip. Superman seat grab, Indian air, kicking the legs out to the side. And this, the biggest move we've seen off the whale tail so far. 360, double tail whip, catching it perfectly. And man, he was on one at the start of this run.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And you could see him just carrying so much pace into the step up, going corked on this 720, seamless transition between the two rotations and connecting so well with the ground. So up onto the surgeon's table, Rory, we'll see exactly where this went wrong.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. He caught just a bit of an under rotation, so I don't know, so difficult. Like you said, you basically got to loop out from the flat, get yourself set that, initiate that rotation with absolutely no transition to do it. So a massive amount going on, and flip whip, one of the most technical things. We can see Toby on his feet right now, walking it off. So great to see after taking a massive slam on a drop. Not the kind of place you want to take a slam and go down like that. So Toby walking it off. We'll see if he's okay to go again in round 2. I hope so, because man, that run was shaping up to be something special.
Yeah, that was heavy. Toby really, really swinging for the fences with that run, and he had one going, doing something that no one else does there. Back to the top we go. Finals fever definitely affecting some of these riders as we're making our way through run 1 in the men's field. The next man in the gate, he's fresh off a podium at Red Bull Joyride. Max Fredriksson looked like he was kind of easing his way into the day yesterday, but you don't need to do that much to get into qualification or get through qualification when you're a rider of this level of talent. So the Swedish rider, part of a huge Swedish crew of slopestylers that are just really raising the bar year after year after year, and Max is certainly one of the leaders of that charge, as he is. Well, he's ready to go. He's ready to put down his best, as he is going to be riding a wave of confidence after that big result that he had in Whistler, and just wants to keep it going here at Silverstar. Well, one of the most fascinating parts of this is just watching the riders go through. Oh, we're getting a course hold here, so we just want to make sure that everything is dialed in and perfect. So as soon as the course is back and locked, maybe a bit of water, maybe a bit of raking, a bit of shoveling, want to make sure that it is in pristine condition for the riders before they drop. So Max will take a breath, move back, and we are going to take a look at what got us here. We've got highlights of run 1 so far from the men, and it's been, I'd say, eventful, to say the least.
Yeah, you can say that again, Derek. I mean, we've seen massive landed tricks. Backflip, bar spin, 2 bar spin. That was Frieger Schoenberger early on. And Frieger throwing big tricks.
Yeah, these riders really bringing themselves up to perform in the moment. We saw Frieger going so fast and then throwing the bars while he was upside down, tail whipping off the surgeon's table. We haven't seen many riders choosing that option. Quite a few flat drop backflips, a few 360s. The tail whip's extremely challenging. And Frieger right now, he is sitting in 7th, as he was not quite able to complete the rotation on that final hit.
Yeah, I believe this is Anton Linder throwing 360 triple bar. Unfortunately, went down hard later in the run. And then again, we had Max Langille, who was our first competitor, unfortunately just going down hard as well. So a bunch of incomplete runs so far, you know, riders pushing hard to show this massive crowd and, you know, try and put down a run that they can be proud of in the first one so that they can go back up there, give themselves a chance to one-up it. They know what's at stake here, Gold Cup on the line. And yeah, we saw that pretty wild one there from Jaden Chipman, came up a bit short, but right here we have Ben Thompson, who did put one down. Big double tail whip. 360 bar to downside tail whip, massive trick to be throwing on a step down of a whale tail.
Yeah, the judge is deciding that was good enough currently for second with the 80.67, and we know there was a few moments that Ben is going to be able to add something. This move, so far one of the moves of the day, the front flip tuck no-hander off of the surgeon's table. So many parts of that are nearly impossible.
Yeah, so wild. He has to put his head next to his wheel to the side so that he doesn't buzz his peak right off with his front tire. So that wouldn't be what you'd want to do. But, you know, here we had the young rider, Aiden Siebenhaler. He did tail whips both ways on the whale tail. So 4 tail whips in a very short amount of time. 2 regular, 2 opposite. And then he showed us some other banger tricks like this 360 bar spin to downside tail whip and followed it up with a massive move on the final jump.
Yeah, a solid run for Aiden as he had just a little bit of the feet off on the step up, which he'll look to tidy up this gigantic double backflip. As you said, that jump's seeming to just lend itself to that. So yeah, a couple messy moments there for Aiden that he's going to be able to tidy up and be able to step that score up for sure into the 80s. And then what a way to finish a run.
Yeah, 360 triple downside tail whip. That is a 360 one way, you kick the tail whips the other way, do 3 of them. I can't imagine many things more technically difficult than that, but unbelievable to see that in run 1. So yeah, our course crew here just patching things up. Unfortunately, we did see Toby Miley kind of go down and probably put a little bit of a hole in that landing with some part of his body, unfortunately. That's not what you want to see, but amazing to see him get back up. He is a warrior, throwing down, you know, that backflip tail whip flat drop trick. I think I was wondering when we'd see one of those again, since we used to see Brett Rheeder doing them every now and then as one of his biggest tricks that you'd see in competition. But now Toby Miley, nod to Brett Rheeder, kind of bringing that one back out in run 1. But right now we are going back up. Oh, yeah, there he is, the man himself, Brett Rheeder in the Rheeder slopestyle.
Yeah, you know, it's so exciting having this course built by McDuff and Rheeder, and then the execution of the build done in large part by the Silver Star Bike Park trail crew. There's so many pieces of this course that the riders are just really enjoying riding. You know, it's got that little slowdown in the middle. It's got a few huge jumps. It's got some really technically difficult features. That whale tail being the first thing you do is kind of a standalone in slopestyle, having the hardest feature, one of the hardest features, come at you right out of the gate. So riders have to back themselves, and you see it with the riders that put down a huge trick right at the start of their run. That gets the judge's attention. It kind of grabs them by the collar as we are back to live action here at the Rheeder slopestyle. Max Fredriksson on course and heading towards the whale tail.
Backflip bar spin to tuck no hand. A huge combo as we're used to seeing. Right side 360 out of the whale tail. Looking for a little bit more from Max, but he's going to keep things going with that big double tail whip.
Oh yeah, so big start here. Now the riders get to catch their breath. They slow right down. You don't need a lot of speed. The gap over the road here, as you can see, the photographer is just aimed at the sky as Max, the nollie 360, so rolling off his front wheel into that spin.
360 triple bar spin there, slight over rotation, but he'll have plenty of speed to make it up onto the surgeon's table. 360X up, right side 360 bar spin down, so spinning both ways, just comboing it up and into that final jump. Backflip tail whip. Lots of time left, but he is going to put that one down clean. 2 pedals to his feet, and he'll be looking to one-up that one as he moves into his second go. So let's just check that replay, Derek. 360 bar spin to bar spin. Still plenty of time to get full extension on the tuck no-hander. Unbelievable move into the whale tail.
Yeah, and then it looked like he wanted to throw the bars there on the 360, but something prevented him. So just a 360, if you can even say that in the context of this slopestyle. But Max then making up for it with the double tail whip, catching it way high again in the transition. This nollie 360, so much style, so difficult to do to get the back wheel off and then start rotating and not lose control of your bike.
Yeah, Swedish trademark there. We've seen a few of their top slopestyle riders busting that one out here and there, but we love it. Right, and then that big 360 triple bar spin, slight over rotation there, but he kept things going, got a clean run top to bottom. We'll see what the judges make of that, Derek.
Yeah, definitely a lot of good in that run. 76.5 for Max Fredriksson. So that moves him into fourth, just behind Griffin Paulson. So it's going to take perfection to get into the podium conversation. I think that single non-comboed 360 exit from the whale tail, probably the thing that he's going to look to rebuild and redo. Back up to the top. This man needs hardly any introduction. Nikolai Rogatkin, and there is no delay. He is on course and speeding down towards the whale tail.
And throwing the twister signature move into the whale tail. Has he got speed to keep it going? Backflip bar spin, massive trick into the whale tail.
A 1080, 3 rotations around, front flip, bar spin, tuck no hander into the step up. Nikolai Rogatkin already with more tricks than many riders have in their entire run, and he is now just at the banister flat drop.
Yeah, foot plant 360 off the banister drop. He is carrying great speed into this next jump. Cash roll, tail whip, puts it down. Massive run going here right now, Derek.
Wow, so big flip onto the surgeon's table, the tail whip down. Nikolai now coming into the final feature with a whole head of steam.
And a massive double backflip, puts it down. Huge run from Nikolai Rogatkin.
Wow, well, there it is, the trademark Rogatkin celebration. When he puts one down, you know it. That was an enormous run. Let's look back at this replay, Roy, right from the beginning, fireworks.
Yeah, I can't even express 1080 into the whale tail, the signature twister on that front cork rotation, backflip, bar spin coming out of it. What an amazing combo to be throwing off into one of the most technical features. And then, you know, keeping it going through the whole run, an absolutely massive. This is huge, Derek. Front flip bar spin to tuck no hander, massive combo. One of the biggest tricks we've seen on that step up. Here is Nikolai Rogatkin.
Blowing up. All right, Nikolai, you have just had the dream run here at the beginning. We want to talk a little bit about the history of this course. It's designed by Brett Rheeder. You used to compete against Brett for a long time on the Slopestyle World Tour. What does it mean kind of riding a course that was designed by one of your good friends and a former competitor?
Honestly, all of us riders have had the time of our life on this course over the years, especially this year. Today's competition is honestly very gnarly. We've seen a lot of guys go down viciously, so it was hard to keep the mentality positive, seeing your fellow friends and competitors go down like that. But yeah, I just tried to get motivated. The fans out here are in full force, and like you said, the course is on point. So yeah, not my best work that I could do on that run, but I was definitely screaming after landing the double flip because I was fired up. And now I'm in one piece for the next one.
Yeah, that's huge. So it has been a rocky start for the men so far. I mean, it's a bit of finals fever going on, a few riders going down, but we're now starting to see, and I'm going to put your run in this category, some runs that could win a slopestyle at pretty much any level. How do you feel about where slopestyle is at today, and also big picture, because it feels like we're in a pretty magic era where it's just blowing up?
Man, I just cannot believe the level that slopestyle is at. I have been blessed to experience such progression over the years of competing, and man, I can't believe I'm still here, still going for podiums, still trying to go for wins, and just getting so motivated by these young, insane competitors out here. So let's keep progressing. Slopestyle is just the best.
Well, the passion is still there, and Nikolai Rogatkin absolutely having a blast. Nikolai, we have the score coming in from the judges, and we are going to drop it here. We're going to see it on the screens. It is a 92.67. Nikolai Rogatkin, live reaction here at the Rheeder Slopestyle, moving into first place with that absolute banger run. Congratulations, Nikolai.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll see how this competition plays out, but I got some more for the next one if I need.
Oh, well, you heard it here first. There's more in the vault from Nikolai Rogatkin. So the state of slopestyle in an absolutely banging place right now, and Nikolai Rogatkin at the absolute sharpest end of the stick right now. So he has moved first man in the 90s we've seen through qualies or finals, and we are back to live action with Alex Alenko having a fantastic run yesterday as well. So do not blink here, Silver Star. Alex Alenko into the whale tail.
Yeah, a giant backflip 360, cork 7, call it what you want, tail whip to bar spin out. So big combo already. And tail whip to bar on the step up there. So big technical tricks. So difficult to keep the bike underneath you and balanced when you're throwing first the frame around and then the bars. He's going to keep things going, Derek.
Well, this Swede has been a mainstay in slopestyle, and he is coming out swinging here as Alenko flipping and tossing the bars multiple times there across that huge Red Bull Money Booter. Tail whip up onto the surgeon table, 360 down. So Alex Alenko on one here as he is aiming to put himself into the podium conversation, Rory.
Yeah, big front flip halfway down the landing, and he has put a clean one down. He's got to be happy with that one. Pumps his fist for the crowd. He's stoked. He's relieved.
Well, we look back here. Right away, a huge move into the whale tail. Look at the amplitude. He was so far up, but still found the perfect spot to land there.
Yeah, kicking that tail whip to bar spin one way. And then I believe he backed it up with the tail whip to bar on the next one.
Yeah, and getting that bar spin up way, way high still in his air. So spinning down off the jump or off the banister drop, and then he's going so fast into this Red Bull Money Booter where he's got that first bar spin done in the ascension of the flip. He's still on his way up.
Yeah, big combo moves for the Swede there as he anxiously awaits his first run score.
Well, that was a huge one. Alex Alenko, he's going to be looking for a 92.67 if he wants to take Nikolai off the top step right now. Liam Bayless sitting in second with the 86.33. We're waiting for the scores from the judges. 83.33. So Alex Alenko into third, just behind Liam Bayless and moving Ben Thompson out of the podium contention currently. But of course, we're only in run one. There's still so much to play for here for the riders. So the Swedish rider now putting himself into third, but we are nowhere near finish. We still have another Swede directly stacked up behind him. This is Lucas Skilled. Lucas was an alternate at Red Bull Joyride and grabbed that opportunity, putting himself into the top 10, the biggest slopestyle on the planet. And he is here now competing with his friends, with his competitors, and ready to throw it down. Lucas had a good start yesterday with a small bobble in run one and then a huge run in 1-2 to vault himself up the rankings and qualifiers. So Lucas now ready to kick things off. He's got the dirt in the palms, absorbing the sweat. You know, he's ready to go now, kicking off, pedaling, and letting gravity take over as he heads into the whale tail.
Yeah, looking like he was looking for the unturned down on the backflip there. 360 bar spin on the way down, carrying good speed into this step up. Oh, amazing rotation on that cash roll. I love the way he kind of dips into that corked out forward angle rotation on that 720. Real unique way to do it.
Yeah, it's the skilled cash roll there. Tossing the tail whip now, picking up speed into that Red Bull Money Booter, spinning the bars, then spinning the bike in the backflip. So a real big combo of tricks there, Rory.
Yeah, right side 360 up, left side 360 bar spin down off the province of British Columbia drop as he carries speed into that final jump. And a huge double backflip, tucks it round and lands it perfect, looks to the heavens and stomps that run.
Yeah, equal parts relief as he's getting a big hug there from his countryman, fellow competitor, and compatriots, Alex Alenko and Nikolai Rogatkin. As you said, looking for that sort of click there on the first flip. So he's gonna have more on that one. And then things started to really unleash on this run for Skilled.
Yeah, I think the energy and the momentum really built from top to bottom there as he kind of works his way down. I love the rotation on this cash roll. First one pretty much upright and then just dipping the head into it. No one else really doing it like that.
Yeah, and I like seeing the tail whip off that drop. It's so difficult to throw your bike away and just trust that it's going to come back around because you do have to catch it. We've seen a lot of riders opting to spin that to 360 it. You stay in unison with your bike, and then the combination tricks there on that Red Bull Money Booter, that was huge.
Yeah, you got to catch your bars. Hopefully they're in a good spot on the grips because you're about to chuck a tail whip while you're still upside down. So technical to be putting those moves together and then backing it up with a massive finish too.
Yeah, solid run there. There's only a couple guys to go, so Lucas Skilled looking to put himself in the mix here. There's definitely that move into the whale tail that he's going to be looking to clean up, but the rest of that run, very solid, and another statement of intent for the Swedish rider. The judges have their work cut out for them as we're seeing a lot of different runs, but equally technical, equal amplitude and difficulty in the trick selection. So lots to play for here as the judges crunch the numbers. The fans absolutely lighting it up here at the Rheeder Slopestyle. Crankworx Summer Series blowing up at Silver Star once again. It's a rider favorite. It's a fan favorite as we see the score coming in for Skilled is 75-6-7. So Lucas Skilled into the top 10 in 7th right now, and he'll look to tidy up, I think, the top section of that run to lock in a big score on run number 2. Back we go up to the top. Chance the rider. It's Chance Moore. This guy had a huge run. He was in first place for a long time in qualies yesterday until one Caden Ingersoll knocked him out. But Chance Moore has plenty in the tank, and I think there's a great chance we're going to see it right now.
Backflip, tail whip into the whale tail, lands perfect, and a huge cork 7 out. Oh, just blowing a little pedal there, and unfortunately looks like he might be having to wave this one off. I don't know if he had a little... Oh, looks like he's blown a crank off there. So a bit of a major bike malfunction. Maybe he just landed that one perfect and just bike letting go on him there. So just devastating for him because he did what he had to do, but lost a piece of vital machinery.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a look at where it came off. So tosses the tail whip in that backflip, lands up high in the transition. He still has it in the takeoff here, so I think it's on the landing of the exit of the whale tail. Big cork 7 there as he comes down. He's looking pretty locked in. Oh, and he just shears straight off. His foot that goes right through the crank into the ground at the top of that landing. So he had no chance there. So he's going to head to the mechanic station, hopefully get a new bottom bracket or a new crank put in for run number 2 as we barely got things kicked off for Chance Moore before his run was over. So happy to see that he's all right.
Yeah, devastating to see the bike kind of let go on that one. He, came up a tiny bit short, but cork 7 off the whale tail, backing up the flip whip, one of the most technical starts that we've seen in a run. So I just really wanted to see the rest of that. But right now, this guy is a coiled spring. He is ready to go. Caden Ingersoll. He didn't even need to put down a second run yesterday to qualify, Derek. He was ready to go, but he wanted to put a statement down. He wanted to put down his stamp on the course. So he went up to himself, put himself into that first qualifying position, and man, he is ready to go. He really wants to get onto this course, so we cannot wait to see what he has in store for us.
Oh yeah, Caden just fizzing to get this underway. The starter having to kind of catch him there. And like, oh, we're not quite ready. We need to make sure the judges are watching, make sure the crowd knows. And now Caden Ingersoll is kicking off run 1 in earnest as he is rocketing towards the whale tail, Rory.
Yeah, 360 tail whip to bar spin, catches the bars, backflip bar spin to bar spin, super technical combo link up right there at the start.
Huge amplitude on that front flip on the step up, going so big. You don't need to jump that high to get up to that landing, but he went far, far above it as now Caden Ingersoll can catch his breath. A little bit of a reset mentally, spinning the bars twice. Maybe not.
3 bar to X up there, and then big cork 7 going huge on that jump as he carries great speed up into the surgeon's table. 360 bar spin to bar spin back, super technical back flip off the flat drop. So Caden Ingersoll building right now. We'll see what he has for us on the last jump. 360 double downside tail whip to pedals. He is happy with that one, throws up a hand for the crowd, then realizes that he actually has to brake coming into the finish area. So we love to see it. Huge run from Caden Ingersoll. Talk us through this one, Derek.
Well, what a big start. He's got the 360 with the tail whip and then spinning the bars at the last minute. They have so little time, bar to bar back in the backflip. So in and out of that whale tail with a blink. And then just check out the amplitude on this front flip.
Yeah, and speaking of amplitude, you know, on that first hit of the whale tail, he was so high in the air, he actually didn't catch the bars where he wanted to, was able to reset, get his hand back on there, 360 bar spin to X up there, super technical combo trick to be throwing on a relatively small flat drop and a giant cork 7 on this jump.
Well, I love the flow that he's got, you know, and choosing to do a cork 7 on basically the biggest feature on the course. You can slow it right down and style it way out. That's exactly what Caden did. As you can see, he's just shaking. He's got those post-run adrenaline jitters, as now we just wait for the judges to have their say. But that was a solid start for Caden Ingersoll. And we know, oh, he's in the 90s, 90.00. So huge score. Caden moving into second. Liam Bayless now down to third. Alex Alenko and Ben Thompson, your top 5. So we are 1 run down, and we got 2 riders in the men's category in the 90s. What a show we are seeing here at Silver Star. You know, Rory, we talked a lot about Caden's mental positioning yesterday, not needing to do that second run, but choosing to. Little bit of fun, little bit of a statement of intent, a little bit of like, yeah, I want another run on this course. All of those things combining now into today's run where he's sitting in the 90s just behind rock star slopestyle superhero Nikolai Rogakin.
Yeah, unbelievable. We're just going to check out some of our women's highlights from the first run there. We had our first competitor, Renata Weiss. She was throwing down, making it top to bottom, and I believe our whole women's field actually pulling their runs top to bottom. So they'll all be putting themselves in a good position to be wanting themselves up. Zoe Witwicky, 15 years old, and throwing tricks down on one of the biggest slopestyle courses in the world.
Yeah, it's so impressive. You know, Zoe's definitely, she's a young kid. The future of slopestyle is so bright. We heard Nikolai Rogakin say it. He's loving where it's at right now. He's so excited to still be a part of it. And seeing the women, these young women, just coming up, showing up. You know, they don't have a lot of experience riding courses of this level. So every time they get on course in practice, we see the level elevate again and again and again. And it's because of riders like this that we're seeing on screen right now. Shaylin Reno has been such a driver of that every time. So Patricia Druin sitting on top with that 94, Lisa Marie Blanc and Natasha Miller chasing. And then the rest of the pack, Shaylin Reno in the 80s. We got Zoe Witwicky and Kathy Kuipers, Renata Weiss, and Alma Vigberg unfortunately not taking the start today. She went down on a backflip on that big Red Bull money booter in practice this morning, a heavy slam. So best wishes going out to Alma, as she has been a massive standout in this first year that we've seen slopestyle at the on the world stage.
Yeah, I think we're really seeing, you know, looking at those scores, judges really rewarding those tricks on the technical features, whether it be the drop or that first whale tail feature. You know, Patricia throwing double bar spin into the whale tail there. But we are back up and we are ready to go already. Barely time to catch our breath as the crowd building in energy, anticipation of our women's second runs coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, we're ready to get ready, as we have the ladies stacked up in reverse order of run number 1's ranking. So we are going to have Renata Weiss dropping first, the Chilean rider. The South Americans really starting to blow up. You know, if you were at Crankworx in Whistler, there was a huge South American crew, a lot of Chileans racing. It's great to see Chilean riders embracing slopestyle as well. Renata right now holding the flag for Chile here at the Rheeder Slopestyle. She's the only Chilean rider in the field, men or women, and she is back on course. Run number 2 underway here at the Rheeder Slopestyle Crankworx Summer Series Silver Star.
Yeah, Renata looking to take the hands off there into the whale tail, getting that hand off, looking for the tire grab, blowing the pedals, but she's going to keep things going here into the step up. No footer, getting back onto the pedals. So a little bit of a shaky start here for Renata. She has time to reset, take a breath, and keep things going, Derek.
Well, we talked about gear ratio. You know, riders trying to put pedal strokes in between features, but if the gear ratio isn't right for the speed they're going, they're not going to get that much push out of it. The hands coming off there for Renata, so she's adding difficulty and adding technicality to this run. Tire grab up onto the surgeon's table, little tabletop down, so keeping things clicking, keeping it moving forward as she comes into this final jump, Rory.
Yeah, just keeping things smooth, keeping it under wraps, and 2 full pull runs down this challenging Rheeder slopestyle course. Smile on her face. She knows she left a little bit on the table, but I love that tire grab on the way up to the surgeon's table. And yeah, just looking back at the whale tail, trying to get the no-hander there, but maybe just missing a little bit on the extension and reaching for that tire grab there. She came back for a second helping of that trick later on in the run.
Blowing the foot on the exit of the whale tail. There's so much pressure, but still having the wherewithal to get the back up to speed with a couple pedal strokes, and then the no-footer, getting the handoff on the banister drop. I mean, just riding, having the speed and having the sort of mental wherewithal to hit these features at all. And then Renata throwing the hands, the Sui on the big Red Bull money booter, all smiles in the finish. It's that combo of relief and stoke and, oh, okay, well, if I could do it again. We see the score coming in. It is a stronger score, 69-67 for Renata. So she has moved herself up a little bit on from run 1. As the Chilean rider, her day is done. She can put her feet up and relax, knowing the job is done. As we move on with the slopestyle field here on the women's side, Kathy Kuipers, the German rider, she has a 71.67 in the bag. After run number 1, she's going to be looking to step that up. She has been, she's just been having a blast riding this course. And Kathy now on course and looking to add to that run 1 tally.
Into the whale tail, getting that hand off and getting the toboggan, tapping the seat on the way out of there. She carries good speed into this first step up. Slinging the bars again, so dialed with those bar spins from Kathy.
Yeah, super smooth rider. She definitely never looks like it's difficult or she's putting any single foot out of place. As Kathy now picking up speed into this money booter, throwing the hands off, landing perfectly at the top of the transition, which allows her to have enough speed to get up onto this extremely daunting surgeon table. Huge drop back off.
Yeah, so cool to see the ladies just progressing through the season. Big tuck no hander, getting good extension, and another full pull landed run. Love to see it. Kathy Kuipers throwing it down.
Oh, and a huge smile on her face. I mean, you can't overstate how much fun these riders are having getting to ride on this Rheeder inspired and built and designed slopestyle course. So Kathy Kuipers adding a couple features there, and you could see the look on her face at the finish. Just a huge smile, having a blast doing this. And these women are showing up with a huge bag of tricks in their pocket, and we're only going to see it progress from here as they get more time on these big, daunting slopestyle courses. The huge suicide no-hander on the biggest jump on the entire course. So Kathy waving to her fans, 72.67. Again, adding a few points on from run 1. So Kathy Kuipers now with a 72.67, sitting in 6th as we move through in reverse order from standings on run number 1. Well, back up we go. This young lady had a banging first run. She's going to look to replay it again. It is, of course, 15-year-old Canadian rider Zoe Witwicky, 15 years old, and she's hitting these jumps. She's a pro, not hitting them like a pro. She is a pro and absolutely sailing out of the whale tail.
Yeah, tire grab on the first, toboggan on the second, so already putting tricks down on those highly consequential first features, getting the foot off, 1-footer on the step up. So tricking everything so far, Derek.
All right, Zoe now into this banister drop. Nice connection with the top of the transition as she picks up speed into the Red Bull money booter, getting the hands off, full extension on that Sui as well. So strong run here for Zoe.
Yeah, a bit of a toboggan on the way up and just keeping things smooth off that province of British Columbia drop as she carries good speed into that massive final jump. Big tuck no hander, stomps the run. Amazing stuff from our young 15-year-old rider out here. She is all smiles. Her day is done. She's done the hard work. Now she can just wait for that score to come in.
Well, the future of slopestyle is so bright. These athletes having a blast doing it. You can see on the replay, getting that tire grab. I mean, it's so daunting just heading into that feature as your very first hit. And Zoe going so high. She's got great pop, real big push off the lip, allows her to get that amplitude. And as she kind of grows and ages and matures, we're going to see her, I think, filling that airtime with trick after trick after trick. Keep in mind, 15 years old, she's relatively new to competing at this level, and it's only going to get better. So she's stepped up to a 79 with run number 2, moving into 5th. A big run there for Zoe Witwicky. Hopefully she is happy with that. The crowd and the fans absolutely loving it. We're making our way here through the women's field. We got Shaylin Reno, the world champion of slopestyle, sitting on an 80.33, just on the outside looking in at the podium. We'll see if she can step up to their score to beat to get on the podium right now, 83.67, but she is focused on her run. Shaylin Reno, well, we know she can get it done on the world's biggest slopestyle stages. This is no different. She is all focus, all intensity, and ready to go on this absolute joy of a course to ride. The rider's having a blast doing top to bottom training runs and practice runs as we now wait for Shaylin to drop in for her second run of the day here at the Rheeder Slopestyle Crankworx Summer Series Silver Star 2024.
Yeah, Shaylin on course right now, just building speed, building that intensity, coming into that first whale tail feature. Gets the hands off tuck no hander. 1 foot X on the step down, as she carries momentum into the step up, and a nothing, taking off both hands, both feet, letting the bike hover and then finding both grips and pedals. Super technical moto inspired moves for Shaylin Reno already.
Oh yeah, and so consequential. X up off that banister, flat drop. So Shaylin so far tricking every single feature. Getting the no foot can there, just a tiny bit of a case. You can see her shake her head. She should easily have the speed to get up onto the surgeon's table. She does, airing off with the X up. So keeping the streak going of tricking every single feature.
Tuck no hander to X, loving that combo move from Shaylin. So super strong run, some big tricks all the way down. Maybe one tiny little bit of a bobble of the pedals, but still getting no foot cans in there. Tuck no hander was good extension actually onto that whale tail. And then she followed it up with the 1 foot X up.
Yeah, so adding combos where she can, tricking every single feature. How about this nothing on the step up? Such a consequential move as your bike is literally floating in space without you touching it whatsoever.
Yeah, relying on that hovering kind of weightless moment in the air to just let go of everything and then get back on. And then look at this combo move, tuck no hander, 2X up. Very difficult to get both tricks in one jump. So Shaylin's going to anxiously await that score. We'll see if that's able to move her up the rankings.
Yeah, that was a great run from the world champ. Now she's just letting the judges do their work. Her job is done. And it's one of the hardest parts about being a slopestyle athlete or any athlete in judge sport is this waiting where you've done your part. Now it's in someone else's hands. You hope for the best. So we see the score coming in at 82.5. She needed to just bump over the 83 mark to bump Natasha Miller out of the podium. So she holds that 4th spot now. The 4th spot for Shaylin Reno. We've got still 3 riders to come in reverse order of run 1. We'll see if any of them can shake up the standings as Natasha Miller, with a bit of a smile, she is another Canadian rider. We've seen her climbing the ranks. Great in the pump track. We saw her racing. She's been riding the BC Cups, blowing the doors off. And she's got the speed, she's got the trick, she's got the technicality. There's nothing Natasha can't do on a bike as she pulls out and kicks off her run number 2. 83.67 is what she's got. She's going to need to bump 5 points up if she wants to move into that silver medal spot.
Toboggan in, big Sui no hander out. Love the extension that Natasha puts on her tricks. Bar spin to bar spin back, so upping herself right there. Super technical move from Natasha.
Oh yeah, Natasha bringing the thunder. She's looking at bronze right now. She wants a silver, going for the T-bog there, down that flat drop now, picking up speed into the Red Bull Money Booter, comboing it up, Rory.
Yeah, tuck no handed to toboggan, so big combo moves from Natasha, throwing the bars on the way up and off the province of British Columbia drop. So big run for Natasha right now. We'll see if she can finish it off with a bang. Giant no-hander on the last one. Just hanging the hands off, holding them off for as long as she could. Top to bottom run, she one-upped herself in a couple places there, Derek. Can't wait to see that replay.
Yeah, huge extension on all of those tricks and adding combos. You know, she's got the hang time, so those combos are there for the taking. You can see the big Suey exiting the whale tail, and then love to see this riders tricking that banister flat drop. There's not a ton of riders that are throwing tricks off of that. So Natasha Miller knowing there are points on the table. How about the extension on this? We've got 2 tricks in one on the biggest jump on the entire course.
Yeah, and I love to see her not taking any pedal strokes out of that banister drop, just using her pumping skills that she has to carry great speed into that giant air, trusting that she will be able to do it, even though she landed halfway down the landing on that banister drop. So massive technical skill from Natasha Miller. She used to spend a lot of time on the BMX track, so all those mixed bag of skills coming in, and a 90.67 for Natasha Miller.
Oh, a huge score for Miller as she moves into second with a 90.67 run. Look at the look on her face, almost disbelief. I think you just saw her say, what? Well, you are in second, Natasha, with that absolutely banging run, adding combos, technical tricks, going huge. And I think, like you said, Rory, not needing the pedal strokes, that shows the judges that mastery of the bike handling skills that are just as much a part of this as the air game, as the amplitude. Well, we're not done yet. We still have a couple more riders to go here. Lisa Marie Blanc, she's got an 88.67 from run number 1, multiple inverts as she was going upside down every opportunity. You can see her now really going through the visualization process, locking in on this second run. We saw Natasha Miller step it up. Lisa Marie's going to be looking to do the same. Slopestyle is all to play for here in the Rheeder Slopestyle. Unbelievable dramatic moments here as Lisa Marie now pushing off to start her campaign on run number 2.
Yeah, real contrasting styles in the women's field here today. We saw Lisa Marie with a bunch of inverted maneuvers as she comes in. Big tuck no hander on the way into the whale tail. Oh, unfortunately blows a pedal. She is up, she is okay, but she will have to wave this one off. Unfortunately, we do not get to see the rest of Lisa Marie Blanc's run. And that can be the difference between, you know, a perfect run and not being able to make it to the bottom, Derek. Just a little bit of a blow of the pedals, and she is unable to make it off that whale tail feature.
Well, the margins are so slim between perfection and that. So we'll see her big extension on the tuck no hander. She's way down the, oh no, it was just a little clip case that tossed her foot off the pedals. And then great presence of mind to shut it down before she either got tossed off that next takeoff or having to slam down into the wood. So that's veteran moves there for Lisa Marie. And, you know, there's more to being a veteran than just executing perfect runs. Sometimes when things aren't going correctly, the way you react says everything about you. And for her, that was a pro move to not have that go poorly for her.
Yeah, got to be frustrating, but love to see her fit, healthy, ready to ride again another day. We've got more competitions left this year, but no time to dwell on that right now, because right now we are going to our current first place, Patricia Druin. We saw a massive run from her, super technical combos in the first run, so we'll see if she's got anything else to add to that on run number 2.
Well, and with Natasha Miller putting down that 90.67, that means Patricia Druin is your winner. This is a victory lap of sorts. We'll see what she wants to do with it. Basically, the world belongs to Patricia Druin right now as she airs up with the double bar into the whale tail, spinning it back the other way and then reverting again. Patricia Druin so technical here.
Yeah, the big tuck no hander just for fun, that one, I think. Cool to see her changing those tricks up, but adding one that's arguably more technical, the bar to bar back on the step down of the whale tail. So she's having some fun here, throwing the bars off the banister drop.
Yeah, and ever the show person here, Patricia Drew, and now we're seeing the victory lap come into play. She's got it in her head. She knows she just needs to get to the bottom safe and sound, doesn't need to risk too much, as Patricia Drew has locked up the first place spot here at the Rheeder Slopestyle, which backs up her win here last year, and finishing with such a technical combo there, Rory.
Yeah, big Sui to late bar spin. She also threw the bar spin to bar spin back. That's the most technical trick we saw from our women's field onto the surgeon's table just for fun, and then backing it up. You know, love to see the bar spins one way, and then, you know, the trick we saw from Natasha Miller, bar spin one way, catches it with one hand, bar spin back. I love that pause in between the two just for a little bit of extra style, showing, yeah, I've got plenty of time, even though it's a step down off a wooden feature. Bar spin off the drop, super technical. And then, yeah, just kind of having some fun on this one. We see the legs coming out there. She kind of squeaks the bike over that knuckle. And then, yeah, just a little another bar to bar back on our step up here. Super technical.
Yeah, massive run there. Massive 2 runs. All right, we've got Patricia, the winner, in the finish area. Patricia Drew back in the mix and on top. Tell us, what does it mean to you to take the win here today? Not sure if Patricia could hear us there. Patricia, congratulations on the win. What does it mean to you to take the gold medal today in the Rheeder Slopestyle?
Oh yeah, it means a lot to me to be finally back competing. I had a super hard season, but yeah, I'm stoked to land my run. I didn't done the tricks what I wanted, but yeah, I'm still stoked.
All right, well, you can hear that. If that wasn't the tricks you wanted, there's more in the bag from Patricia. We are so stoked to have you back in the slopestyle mix and watch you. Now, this is 2 years in a row winning on this course. How do you feel about the course here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star?
It feels great to be back. It's one of my favorite courses in the year, and I have a lot of fun out here.
Well, huge congratulations to you, backing up last year's win with another gold medal and a 94-point run. Big congrats to Patricia Drew, and your gold medalist here at the Rheeder Slopestyle.
Yeah, thank you.
And there it is. You see that gold. As Rory, we look back at the highlights here from our women's category, this gold event here, the Rheeder Slopestyle Crankworx Summer Series. What a show.
Yeah, daunting stuff for the rest of the women's field to hear that from Patricia Drew. And we didn't see her, you know, at Joyride this year, but, you know, she says, yeah, that was a pretty good run, but, you know, I actually didn't do what I wanted to do. So can't wait to see what else she's got in the tank for us. You know, one of the brightest talents in mountain biking right now, it has to be said, as we see Kathy Kuipers throwing bar spins, keeping things smooth, and our youngest competitor Zoe Witwicky tricking both features in the whale tail there. Speaking of bright future, I can't wait to see more from Zoe over the next few years. She is going to be on a trajectory to the stars, I feel.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to see foam pits and airbags busy getting a workout over the winter season as these women dial in their tricks. You know, we've watched Alma Wigberg blowing up. We see the tricks that our winner today, Patricia Drew, has. So I have a feeling back to the lab for the winter, and we're going to see at an all-new level from across the board in the women's slopestyle. This is a period of growth and explosion in women's slopestyle, and it's so exciting to be right at the pointy end of it. Natasha Miller really stepping into the pressure once again, dropping a 90-point run in run number 2 to put herself in that silver medal position. Huge statement there from her, you know, again, speaking of bright futures.
Yeah, our top two riders here today, both 17 years old. So that really if that doesn't say anything about the bright future that slopestyle has in the women's field, I don't know what does. We see Patricia Drew in there, massive tuck no-hander. And spinning the bars on drops, I can't accentuate how scary that is. But no problem for Patricia.
Yeah, well, she is the boss right now, the champion, as we are going to go back up. So we're not going to see Max Langiel or Anton Linder taking their second run. But this man broke his crank on run number 1. So we barely even got into his run before it was over. Cannot wait to see. Bike is repaired. Chance Moore is back in the start gate and underway. Slopestyle men's division. We are starting off run number 2 with Chance Moore.
Yeah, that big flip whip catches it so early, gets the pump, and that huge cork 7. Can he make it into the landing? Yes, great start. Fireworks from Chance Moore. Front flip bar spin on the step up, so a massive start to the run for Chance.
Yeah, now Chance can just catch his breath as the second half. This is almost the dividing line in the slopestyle run. So Chance coming in 3, spinning the bars down that banister flat drop, now picking up a big head of steam into this jump, a massive double backflip, clean landing way down the transition.
Yeah, Chance is on one right now, 3 bar to bar. Big corked out, flat drop backflip off the Province of British Columbia drop as he carries great speed. 360 or flip double whip. Gets it to pedals, huge run for Chance. He is fired up about that, and so are the crowd, going absolutely crazy here today. Derek, so impressive after that big mechanical in run 1. Flip whip into the whale tail. And then backing it up with this huge cork 7, one of the biggest tricks we've seen out of a whale tail.
So smooth, catching the transition high, so there's no loss of speed as he speeds into the step up, then spinning down, spinning the bars as well twice and catching them. Again, that ability to land high in the transition allows the riders to keep so much speed, and Chance going for this enormous double backflip, and he went way down the landing on that Red Bull Money Booter. So the body language as he came through the Red Bull arch at the bottom just fired right up. Big hug for Lucy Van Eastern there and the rest of the squad. So Chance throwing it down. He is stoked. I have a feeling the judges are going to be throwing points at that run. But I mean, the top right now, the leaderboard, those runs were also banging. We'll see what they thought. But Chance definitely did his part, and he is stoked about it.
Yeah, Chance really having a real breakout year this year. We saw him throwing down in Innsbruck, and you know, so tough, Derek, to have that mechanical at the start and just shake it off, go back up there. He didn't get a chance to do his whole first run, and it was not really his fault. Bit of a case, lost the crank, just shook it off, goes back up there. And look at that, a 91.33, massive score for Chance Moore.
Oh, Chance moving now into second, just behind Nikolai Rogatkin. So Caden Ingersoll slides to third. Huge score for Chance as he put down, wow, I mean, talk about dealing with the pressure, talk about leaning into it. Chance with only one opportunity there, grabbing a hold of it and doing what he needed to do. We are going straight back up. We cannot even take a break or take a breath here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star. Jaden Chipman, he had a bit of a rough one there on run number 1, but we're going to see him hopefully full pull top to bottom as Jaden is on course now and ready to unleash for his second run here at the Rheeder Slopestyle.
Yeah, Jaden carrying good speed into that first whale tail. Big backflip bar spin, huge extension on the tuck no hander, 360 triple bar down. So very technical start to this run. And a big cash roll. We saw that from him in first run, and he gets it perfect. So Jaden's got to be feeling confident as he moves his way into this next section.
Yeah, riding on a cloud of confidence as he slows things down, gets himself at the right speed, throwing the tail whip, clean connection back into the ground, and now speeding towards the Red Bull Money Booter. Throwing the bars, throwing the flip, clean. Now we are into the final couple sections of this course. Rory up onto the surgeon's table.
Yeah, 3 down whip onto the surgeon's table. Truck driver off, carrying good speed in. What's he got for us on the last jump? Double tail whip, I believe, and getting it to pedals. He's got to be stoked, especially after that first run. The relief flowing, emanating from this rider. He has a smile on his face. He's happy. And let's just look back at those highlights. Flip bar, huge tuck no hander extension, dust clouds popping from the rider as he takes those hands off and throws the bars 3 times with a 360 on a step down. No big deal for Jaden.
Yeah, he just looks so clean, so precise, such critical connection with the landings as he's able to carry speed into this step up. And then the early rotation set on that cash roll. He comes out of that absolutely perfect, facing right down the trail.
Yeah, this is big as well. Throwing the bars on the truck driver on that giant drop. This thing is enormous in person. And backing it up with that final double whip on the last jump. So we'll see what the judges make of that one. He's stoked. He's made it down.
Well, so good to see these riders able to have the resilience to come back from things not going their way in run number 1. I mean, seriously not going his way in run number 1. And to be able to reset the brain, reset the body, go back up, do it again, and lock in a clean top to bottom run in this field of heavy hitters. It's so incredible. These riders are pretty young, but they are veterans when it comes to these heavy, heavy moments. So Jaden really showing us that he's got what it takes to compete at the highest level of slopestyle. Now it's up to the judges. We're waiting for the score to come in. And here we go at 82.17. Huge score there for Jaden Chipman as he moves himself into 6th, just behind Swede Alex Alenko. That is a huge relief, especially after that, you know, pretty tough run on run number 1. Back up we go to the top. Run number 2, just fireworks here so far. Electric atmosphere at the Rheeder slopestyle as we are making our way. Friedger Schonenberger, he had a good run going, Rory, and then just not quite able to lock it down on the last feature. So he's going to be able to be looking to put all the puzzle pieces together and lock in a complete run for run number 2 here.
Yeah, absolute heartbreaker on run number 1, just laying it down and then coming unstuck at the very last feature. So we'll see what Friedger can do here. He has all the tricks, he has the skill, he has what it takes. We'll see if he can lay it down, and he is on course right now.
Yeah, intense approach as he's speeding towards the whale tail.
I love that extension on the backflip Superman seat grab. Up onto the whale tail, backflip, bar spin to X up on the way down. Super technical start. And that right side, cork 7, getting it to the pedals, squeaking it around.
Yeah, landing way over on the left side of the landing on the step up, but that is the place that you can afford to do that because things slow way down. Riders get to take a breath, reset into this banister flat drop with a 360, and now speeding towards the Red Bull Money Booter.
Backflip, tuck no handed to bar spin. Better extension than he got on his first run on that combo move. 360 bar spin to bar spin on the way up. And throwing the tail whip, catching it to the pedals. Coming into that last jump. Left side, cork 720, gets it round. And redemption for Friedger Schonberger. He is stoked. And the crowd are absolutely loving it out here today. How could you not be right side cork 7 and a left side 1. That Superman seat grab backflip onto the whale tail, real unique and one of the coolest tricks I think we've seen out here today. Backflip, bar spin to bar spin on that step down.
Yeah, some real moto-inspired moves there. The tail whip off the flat drop. If you don't catch that, your ankles will pay. And then this was the redemption. Kryptonite on run number 1. Friedger coming in run 2, spinning cork 7 the other way and finding the set with the exact right amount of pop to pull it around, bolts on the landing. That was a huge run from the young German rider.
Yeah, opposite cork 7, one of the most difficult things to imagine doing. I don't know, if you don't do slopestyle mountain biking yourself, just imagine throwing a ball with your opposite hand or doing something, spinning the wrong way around. And yeah, just then imagine adding danger and adrenaline and pressure to that melting pot and then doing it at the bottom of a run when your arms are firing. So amazing stuff from Friedger right there. So we'll see what the judges make of that.
Yeah, 100% that is going to be an improvement after his first run, which ended with a slightly shorted rotation on the last jump. Friedger, you could see the emotion that he released after he landed that, was able to shut the speed down on his bike and then just letting it all out. The elation, the emotion, the relief, all coming at once as now we wait for the scores for Friedger as he has done his part on a huge day of slopestyle. So 80.73 for Friedger. He moves into 7th, just bumping Ben Thompson now down to 8th. So top 10, a big move up the leaderboard for the young German rider. Solid campaign on run number 2. Back up we go. Toby Miley had an aggressive slam coming off the surgeon table, going for that flat drop flip whip, and he looks fired up. His run up to that point when he went down was going incredibly well. So you can see some leftover Silver Star dirt there in the white pants as Toby Miley speeding now towards the whale tail.
Yeah, that big Superman seat grab, styling it out with a 360 double tail whip, just blowing a pedal there, but he's going to keep things going. And that big cork 720. Derek, my jaw is actually on the floor seeing him even in the start gate after taking that massive slam. What a warrior Toby Miley is.
Yeah, we weren't sure if he was going to show back up at the start. And of course, well, now we know he is on course coming into this banister flat drop.
Yeah, 360 bar spin, catching it and carrying good speed into this big money Buddha. Tuck, no hand, a double backflip, gets it again. What a massive banger trick to be throwing.
So much speed there for Toby. He goes just for the flip there, not opting to retry the tail whip in the flip that took him down last time. A huge rotation there, 720 to finish things off.
Oh my goodness, and throws the bike. What more can you say about taking a slam that big, going back up and putting a run like that down? Backflip, Superman C grab, Indian air, kicks the feet out to the side, so adding a little bit of technicality there, and then spinning around, kicking the bike around twice, 360 double whip, just blowing the pedal there, but keeping things going here. And then look, the right side, cork 720. Watch him spot that landing early there, bringing the bike around and landing that one perfect.
Yeah, tossing the bike and tossing the bars there over the flat drop, and then so much speed into this tuck no-hander in the first flip, and then pulling it around again, finding the exact right rotation to connect with the pitch of the landing. So, wow. I mean, talk about a comeback. This man, he is absolutely fired up. He was leading the party train yesterday, and today, let's remember that he slammed so hard that they had to fix the course after that crash. So Toby Miley putting a hole in the track on run one, going back, and then just lighting it on fire. Incredible moments in slopestyle here as we are just seeing the warrior spirit of these riders come out and to the forefront. Now we wait for the score, but regardless of what that score looks like, Toby Miley can walk away from this day proud, as that was incredible.
Yeah, heart of a lion out here today, just taking the massive body check to the landing with that attempt at the backflip tail whip. And we said, you know, just going for the flat drop backflip on that drop, I mean, it's still one of the bigger moves that you're going to see on a flat drop anywhere. So massive trick. Toby Miley just kind of stepping down a bit on that one, but backing it up with that massive cork 720 on the final jump. So
yeah, so scary.
Huge run, nevertheless.
So scary to loop your bike out on purpose and then pull from there as you hope that you are falling from high enough that it comes around. So Toby now, anxious moments, but he's done his part. A huge run for the young German as we wait. One of the most exciting men in mountain biking right now, as he just brings such a level of energy to these slopestyle runs that we love to see, and the fans just rally behind it. And the judges now, hopefully for him, will rally behind it. 82 points for Toby Miley, so moving into 7th with that huge run there. Top 10 finish, well, top 10 so far as we wait for the rest of the field to have their say. We're still got a few riders who didn't quite have the exact run they were looking for in run number 1. Jake Atkinson, UK rider, sitting on 70 points. He had moments of brilliance in that first run. We're going to see if he can tie them together with cleaning up the first couple of features as he goes huge into the whale tail.
Yeah, big cash roll, 360 quad bar spin, I believe, coming out of there. I'm going to have to look back at the replay, but he's keeping it going. Massive backflip, double bar spin there. So Jake just ramping up that combo meter already here.
Yeah, the intensity as he's manualing into that banister flat drop, clean again. You cannot overstate how consequential that is.
Yeah, big right side cash roll on that big money booter as he comes up. Big switch-footed tail whip, right side, 360 off the province of British Columbia drop as he's carrying great speed into that final jump. 360 tail whip to bar spin. Coming up a little bit short, but feet are on the pedals, hands are on the bars, and he is down safe. Make some noise for Jake Atkinson.
Yeah, what a run. What a start to that run. He is miles above the landing there on the whale tail and bringing the rotation around at exactly the right moment to connect with the ground or with the wood.
Yeah, 4 bar spins on that 360 off the tail of the whale tail, if you will, and then just boosting out of the frame with a backflip double bar spin, catching it so high up and probably just holding on at the bottom of that landing.
Big spin down there off the surgeon table, and you can see the aggressive stance. The riders are trying to get as much speed as they can, pumping and pressing that roller on the way in as he starts spinning, throws the bike around for the tail whip, and then tosses the bars before he's done spinning. 3 different tricks all in one there for Jake as he's just holding his heart after a run like that.
Yeah, he is happy to be done with that day right now. He can just sit back, relax, and anxiously await his score. So tough, Derek, to get yourself up amongst those top scores right now as riders are putting it together. And he has bumped his score up, 84.83.
So Atkinson moving into fifth, a top 5 performance there so far in the field, and he is elated. Absolutely stoked. Jake Atkinson doing his bit here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silverstar. Huge moments in Slopestyle as we are rolling through the men's field in reverse order from run 1 finish. Aiden Siebenaler, young Canadian with a banging run on run number 1, 75.33. He's going to look to step that up. Want to make sure he's got the right song playing. All of these little routine things go into making sure the riders are comfortable, and he kicks things off. Well, he looks comfortable so far here, Rory.
Yeah, he was so impressive in that first run, and he started things off with a bang with that double tail whip, just slipping the pedal, but still managing to chuck an opposite double tail whip out. So both ways, I don't know how he did that. 360 bar to downside tail whip. The confidence of this riding, unbelievable to have 1 foot off the pedals, recenter it, have barely a quarter of a second to get them back on and throw a massive another trick as he does 360 bar spin down the drop.
Full speed now into this lofty double backflip. Perfect connection with the ground, holding on to his speed as he comes up to the huge step up onto the surgeon's table, spinning the bars as well, and throwing the tail whip off. So looking good here for Aiden.
360, triple downside tail whip, head banged, feet on the pedals. He stomps that one. Massive run for the young rider out here today. He's got to be stoked with that one. And look at the composure on this. Catches the pedals, but little slip of the pedal there and just gets it back on. Okay, I'll just chuck a double tail whip the other way.
He had the blink of an eye to reconnect his foot with that pedal and kick his bike out into a double tail whip the other direction. What a run there from Aiden Siebenaler, and the way it finished, the confidence from this young man with all of those tricks behind him. I mean, the double backflip, that's just so lofty on the money booter.
And his elbow pad had actually slipped down his wrist at that point. Yeah, he's pointed it out, and that is so difficult to stay composed when you got an elbow pad around your hands right there as you're throwing bars, doing giant combo tricks. So composure through the roof for the young rider out there to be able to throw all these tricks when things weren't going quite his way, but nevertheless putting down a heavy run as he sits, stands there, catches his breath and awaits his score. He's stoked, the crowd is stoked, and how could you not be out here today, Derek?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the vibe is just electric here on the slopes of Silverstar. These riders doing their part, firing up the crowd. You can see the stories now that as we get more and more riders gathering in and around the finish, they're telling their tales of their runs where things went wrong. Hey, guess what? In the whale tail, I didn't have a foot on the pedal. Still threw a switch double tail whip out of it, though. No worries, no problem at all. So these riders, they're so composed for how young they are. Slopestyle is in a great place. We heard that from Nikolai Rogatkin, and now these riders backing up that statement with their performance. They are having a blast out here doing it as well. This is the spirit of Slopestyle, alive and well, as we wait for Aiden Siebenaler to see if he can step up that first run score, a solid score on run number 1, and he does. 77.33 there for Aiden. So with the other runs we've seen right now, that's going to be good enough for 12th. So incredible moments here as a 77-point run putting you into 12th. Aiden, though, he can be proud of that as we roll on through the field. Lucas Skuld, run number 1 at 75.67. Lucas currently sitting in 14th. We know he's got a few things he can tidy up as Lucas now kicks things off for run number 2.
Yeah, nothing short of perfection to get it done here today. 360, kind of unturned down to late bar spin, 360 bar to bar, catches it, gets back on the pedals, gets on the gas as he throws that signature dipped out cash roll, coming up a little bit short, but keeping the feet on the pedals, keeping things moving. Lucas Skuld is not done yet, Derek.
Yeah, and that is, again, we keep saying that's the one place on this course where that's okay because you don't need that much speed. Throwing the tail whip down off the banister flat drop, now looking to really pick up the speed as Skuld flip, bar spin to late tail whip, adding 3 moves into that feature, spinning now up onto the surgeon's table, Rory, as he exits.
Yeah, right side spin up, left side 360 bar spin down, and a giant double backflip. the smoothest landing that you could ever have. Looks like he just kind of jumped out of bed on a double backflip and then catches the landing, rolls away. He looks relieved. He's stoked. We'll see. Let's look back at that replay. So yeah, a little unturned down there, throwing the bars. So he one-upped himself from his first round where he didn't really get the extension on that click and he didn't throw the bars. So already upping himself a little bit, 3 bar to bar, a little bit of a catch of the landing there.
Yeah, and then we saw on this one, he's got that classic take on the cash roll where he really dumps it over forward. He did catch a little bit of a back wheel case on the landing, but the one spot where you can get away with it, and then Lucas spinning up one direction and down the other. So the judge is definitely taking note of those opposite rotations. And then this feature at the bottom, you can't understand how big this jump is. And Lucas just lofty double backflip right into the landing. Huge relief as he rode into our camera side through that Red Bull arch. All smiles now. Hi to all the friends back in Sweden watching, hopefully from home in what is getting pretty late at night. And we're seeing now the score coming in, a 76-3-7 for Lucas Skilled. Big score there, so into 14th for the Swedish rider, Lucas Skilled. It is going to take huge scores to be even in the top 10 here. We've said it time and again, and we've heard it from the judges, we've heard it from the organizers. The strongest field we've ever seen at a gold level slopestyle. Gold Cup for sure having a say in it. Back up we go. Max Fredriksson to 76.5 after run 1. He's sitting in 13th, just ahead of his countryman, Lucas Skilled. So we know Max had a couple of items that can be tidied up. He can definitely get the broom out and just clean things up a little bit as we head into run number 2 for the Swedish rider, Max Fredriksson.
Yeah, not sure what he did on that first one. Backflip with a combo, 360 bar to unturned down, signature Max Fredriksson style there. And then chucking the double tail whip on the step up there. So strong start from Max, the combo master Swedish trick wizard out there on course right now. We'll see what else he has for us.
Yeah, never just one thing, always many. And this one of the favorite tricks here as we see, and adding the unturned down there. So clicking a few more features together on that nollie 360 and just tossing the bars, Rory. So many rotations around.
Yeah, right side 360 with 3 bars, then a left 360 X up, right side 360 bar spin. Just littering the course with all kinds of combo moves. Backflip, tail whip, catches it nice and high, gets it to the pedals and rolls away. So strong run for Max there, lots of combos. We're going to have to look back at the replay. Max often doing a pretty good job to sneak things in that we don't always catch, such is the speed that he throws the tricks at.
Yeah, exactly. The nature of the precision of this man is he's got so many combos, and we couldn't quite see as he went out of frame on the replay too. So we're just going to have to assume that it was awesome there on the entry into the whale tail because we didn't see it. So if you're there live, you know what happened and you can report back. But then the rest of his run, just, I mean, all of those little extra added features, the judges are throwing points at that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just love that 360 bar spin to late, unturned down, clicking it, no problem. Gets the double tail whip and that nollie 360 off the drop with the unturned down. Such a technical move. No one really doing that out here, I think it's fair to say. So we'll see what the judges make of that run.
Yeah, those late edition unturned downs kind of harken back to the prime time of both Brandon Semenuk and Emil Johansson. They were also masters, as is Max, of just sneaking an extra little something in right at the end. You know, they have that time. So you can see Max just chatting with the other riders as they're all telling their stories of how things went, what went good, what maybe they feel like they could have added to, as the judges now waiting to have their say, or we're waiting for them to have their say on Max Fredriksson's run. But from a fan perspective here on the front row, incredible moments of action here at the Rheeder Slopestyle Crankworx Summer Series. This is a fan favorite, a rider favorite. The course just lined with fans, both local and from afar, coming to check out this slopestyle, one of the biggest ones on the series.
Yeah, tough times to be in a judging booth out there today. I mean, a lot of our riders that had trouble in their first runs went back up there and laced second runs. So we've seen how difficult it is to even get yourself into the top 10 right now in this stacked field. Tough day to be a judge. great day to be a spectator.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just waiting now for the scores to drop. You need to be over 80 points if you want to even be in the top 10. Used to be a time where if you were 80 points plus, you were on the podium. Those times are well and truly gone. We heard it from Nikolai Rogakin. Slopestyle is just absolutely hot right now, and the riders just keep getting better and better and better, as we're seeing today. This is the stop number 2 on the FMB Gold Cup. We will be moving to Big White for stop number 3 next weekend, so no rest for the Slopestyle fan or athlete as we move straight on to stop number 3, and then somebody winning that golden ticket to the FMB World Championship Tour next year, the top rider in the Gold Cup this year, brand new for the 2024 season, and already proving its proof of concept, I'd say, is in the pudding, as we are watching some of the best slopestyle action we've ever seen. And Max Fredriksson really being put through the ringer by the judges as we wait for this score to drop.
Yeah, maybe just clarifying a few things, making sure they saw what happened, checking in, and we'll see. Look back. Oh, I love this little nollie off the banister drop with that unturned down. Such a technical move.
And just oozing with style in everything he does. There's always that little addition, but it never looks chucked. It always looks stylish, which is, you know, the second word in slopestyle. So it's perfect and so exciting to watch these riders just adding elements of style to everything. How about this finishing move, Rory?
Yeah, big flip whip, catches it early enough, and you can see him kind of tweaking the bars out there. He had time to throw even more in there, but still a banger move to be throwing on the last giant
All
jump.
right, well, the score dropping a 79-17 for Max. So Max Fredriksson does move up into 11th, just outside that top 10, where Ben Thompson is the guard, sitting on 80.67. So Benny Thompson in 10th, Max Fredriksson now in 11th as we move through the field. And this man, well, we know there are fireworks at stake in store for us. Griffin Paulsen, the pride of Prince George, BC. He has a 78-point run in the bag. He had a couple little bobbles in that run. We know he's going to want to tidy that up and light it up. Always a fan favorite. Griffin Paulsen now pushing out of the start gate and starting his second run here at the Rheeder Slopestyle at Silver Star.
Yeah, Griffin starting his run with that huge double backflip, landing it perfect, and then slinging the bars, backflip, bar spin out. So whale tail moves firing already as we do backflip, tail whip, catching the pedals and keeping things moving.
Well, big start there for Griffin Paulsen. The double backflip into the whale tail. Absolutely insane to start your run like that as he comes now into this banister. Flat drop backflip. Perfect, perfect, as he is now roasting into this Red Bull. Double with the hands off. Unbelievable for Griffin Paulsen.
Yeah, massive move, really one-upping himself. 360 X up and a front flip off the flat drop. So Griffin Paulsen is on a heater here. Let's see if he can bring it home. Lawn dart, front flip, bar spin, gets it perfect, pumps the fist and celebrates. What a massive run for Griffin Paulsen. He really stepped things up in that second run, Derek.
That was huge, and he is fired up. Starting the run out with a double backflip into the whale tail. So gnarly, so difficult, so scary. And if anything even goes slightly wrong, that's your run in the bin. So no problem there for Griffin Paulsen. We saw him with a little bobble in this feature on run number 1. No issues in for run 2.
Yeah, backflip, tail whip. Catches it high, centers his feet, does a little wiggle on the pedals, but he's high up enough to figure that one out. And this big flat drop front flip. Let's not forget he did a no-handed double backflip as well, like we saw from Toby Miley, would be the biggest trick in pretty much any run. And then finishing things off, I love the way he just dives into this front flip, slings the bars, spots the landing when he can, and just puts it down. So Griffin Paulsen battling through the pain out here today. You can see him. That was a tough, tough weekend for him to put down a quali run yesterday and to put down 2 finals runs here today. So warrior stuff for Griffin Paulsen with that beautiful Fresh Paints of Whistler helmet. Doing it for iLab. And yeah, he's stoked to get through that run here today. Judges are going to have their work cut out for them. We'll see what they make of that run.
Oh, big time, yeah. And the level just keeps elevating here as we move through run number 2. Everybody we know, some of these riders that were a little further down had more in their pocket. Griffin Paulsen pulling it out there with a massive second run. He is happy. Now the judges have their say, and it really is going to take perfection to get it done today. We saw that from our current leader, Nikolai. We saw it from Chance Moore, who's the only man to move into the 90s on the second run so far, but of course we're nowhere near done. So Chance Moore with a big move up, and we're moving on as Griffin Paulsen now waiting for his scores to drop, but definitely going to be a step up from run number, well, I shouldn't say that, no speculation. An 81.33 for Griffin Paulsen, so he moves into 9th, now in the top 10, and just to be in the top 10, an incredible feat here in this Rheeder slopestyle, as this field is so stacked. The talent level through the roof, and the execution on the talent that the riders have is just incredible. All right, well, no breaks here. We go back up to the top. Ben Thompson sitting on an 80.67 run, which currently has him sitting in 11th. That's right. He is in the 80-point range, and he is in 11th. The state of slopestyle, incredible right now, is Ben Thompson pedaling his way into the first feature on run number 2.
A big double tail whip, catches the pedals. 360 bar spin to downside tail whip, so super technical combos at the start, and looking like backflip, bar spin, and another one, backflip, triple bar spin on that step up, so fireworks already from the young Canadian rider.
Yeah, Benny looking to step it up here for run number 2, move himself up into that podium conversation. It's going to take a lot. Fast plan 360, clean down, now picking up speed into the money booter. Ben Thompson.
Backflip bar spin to tail whip, just blowing the feet off the pedals there, but he's not done. He's going to keep things going here. Bar spin to bar spin up. And that front flip tuck no-hander down. Just looping out. Ben Thompson going down hard. He's going to take a knee. We hope that he is okay. Just didn't quite get that snap that he needed. Front flip tuck no-hander, just...
The requirement to get that around, especially when you take your hands off the bars. So Ben just going to go through a quick systems check with himself. He got right up. Hopefully he is all right as we look back at this run. Enormous elevation above the whale tail for hit number 1 there.
Yeah, big double tail whip. And then so technical 360 bar spin, and then that downside tail whip, kicking that bike in the opposite direction of his spin. 360 triple bar spin on the step up, and then you see bar spin to bar spin, gets the snap. Let's see what happened here. Just didn't quite get the pop he needed.
So close to being able to lay the front wheel down into the landing.
And you'll see sometimes riders, when they've under-rotated front flip, able to kind of grab that back brake, and that can get that last little bit of rotation around. But when you're taking your hands off with the tuck no-hander, it might not be possible to just get your fingers to that brake. So just shows that just adding a tuck no-hander can really up the level of technicality when it comes. We see Ben on his feet. Hopefully he's okay. That one didn't feel good. Always rough to see riders slam, especially on these big drops. It's so heavy, the impact of them coming down on that province of British Columbia drop. That thing is enormous in person.
So Ben's going to stick with that 80.67 from run number 1. That's got him currently in 11th. We go back up to Alex Alanko, who is sitting on an 83.33 right now in 6th. Run number 2 for the Swede. Does he have more in store for us as he heads into this first feature?
Well, that giant cork 7 into the whale tail. Following it up with the tail whip. We saw him chuck an extra bar spin in there in run 1, so we'll see tail whip the other way to bar spin. So yeah, opposite moves back to back there. Super technical stuff.
Well, Lanko now just catching his breath here as he heads into the banister flat drop. You don't want to go too fast off this or you will go too far. 360 with the bar spin. And now Alanko heading into the money booter.
Just throwing a big steezy knack for the crowd. He actually, I feel like, knows that he made a little bobble up top. Maybe didn't have quite the speed he wanted, although tail whip to bar spin, maybe cleaning up the one that he missed earlier in the run, just showing everyone, yeah, I know how to do that. And then into that final jump, he's going to throw a big backflip one-footed can for the crowd. So Alenko waving that one off. That won't be enough, I don't think, to one-up his score from the first run, but he is down safe. He is healthy. He is happy to be in the finish.
Yeah, I mean, this first hit into the whale tail, he goes so high, arguably one of the highest jumps of the entire field on that cork 7, and then catching way up high. He had the bar spin on that on that tail whip on run 1. So this is probably where Alenko realized that he's just going to be able to let it go for run number 2, as his first run score will not be in danger.
Yeah, it's so tough to catch pedals on the tail whip, and then you got to pinch the frame so that you can chuck the bars without the bike falling away from you. So just that beautiful backflip, one-footed can, doing it for himself, doing it for the crowd. So.
He's all smiles in the finish. So score coming in there, that's 64.33 for run 2. So Alenko will keep his first run score, the 83.33. Got him in 6th right now. We'll see what the riders who are yet to come will have to say about that. But a strong showing here at the Rheeder Slopestyle for the Swedish rider, Alex Alenko. All right, anxious moments here. Riders trying to catch their breath, ready to do their thing for run number 2. And you look at the intensity. All of these riders, they're going through the ringer here. Liam Bayliss, he's up at the top. He's got an 86.33 in his pocket. That's got him in 4th currently. We're going to see if he can move himself up into the 90s. That's what it's going to take if you want to stand on the podium. Caden Ingersoll guarding the gate with a 90 flat. And this young man, Liam Bayliss, would love to put himself into that club of podium finisher at a gold level slopestyle. Right now on course, getting ready for run number 2.
Liam throwing backflip bar spin to one-footed can, big combo move, and 360 tail whip on the way out of that whale tail. So big start from Liam Bayliss. 360 double downside tail whip, just blowing a foot off the pedals, but keeping his feet off the ground. So we'll see if he can keep things moving.
Liam Bayliss coming into sight now, and looks like, I mean, we know perfection is what it's going to take if you want to get into that podium group right now. Liam Bayliss, with that small mistake, he knows it was not going to be a run that would eclipse his first run score. So now just looking to get down safe-ish with a flat drop backflip there off of the surgeon table and flying into the finish area with the no-hander. So this young man, he's going to stick with that score he's got on run number 1. Liam Bayliss with the 86, he's shaking his hand there. He knows that run 1 is going to be the keeper from him, but a good start here to the second run.
Yeah, absolutely, Derek. I mean, 4th place right now, a huge result for the young Canadian rider in this stacked field at this level of competition. So amazing to see Liam Bayliss putting it down and, you know, healthy, safe, put the run down. 45.67 won't get it done here today. He knows that, but the 86.33 from that first run, an amazing run. What a day for Liam Bayliss, and he's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, that was a huge score he got on run number 1. As we are back now with the last 3 men up top. This guy with a huge run, Caden Ingersoll, on a 90-point run on run number 1. He was the winner of qualifiers with an 88. We didn't see anybody into the 90s, and he did it in his first run. Now he is going to have an opportunity to move himself up past Chance Moore and Nikolai Rogakin to take over that top spot, and we'll see where that puts him in the Gold Cup standings at the end of the day. But right now, Caden Ingersoll on course here at the Rheeder Slopestyle.
360 windshield wiper, tail whip to downside tail. Oh my goodness, backflip, bar spin to tail whip. Huge start for Caden Ingersoll. And a big front flip. Wow, I can't believe what we just saw. That's one of the most technical starts at the top. I can't wait to see the replay of that one, but he is not done yet. Caden Ingersoll lighting up the course right now.
Just lobbing hammers as we see him now slow things down into the banister flat drop, 360 with the bar spin, speeding into the money booter. We saw him go so big on this last time. Huge lofty cork 7, perfect rotation and execution now into the surgeon table.
360 bar spin, big flat drop flip, and he's got great speed. Let's see what he can do on this final jump, Derek. 360 double downside tail whip, claiming it to the crowd. He knows that he just one-upped his first run, and with a 90 in the first run, we will see what the judges make of that. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see this replay. 360 tail whip, the regular way, kicks it back, so we call that a windshield wiper. So unbelievably technical start into that highly consequential whale tail, and then backflip bar spin to tail whip. So 2 of the biggest moves that we've seen on either the step up or the step down of the whale tail, back to back, Derek.
Back to back to start his run. Such high consequence moves to begin things. Big lofty front flip on that step up. Then he catches his breath. He's spinning off the banister drop, spinning the bars at the same time, landing perfectly as he speeds into this next hit.
Yeah, can we talk about how slow he spins on this cork 720? It looks like a 3. Oh yeah, just gonna keep casually going around 20 feet above the lip, and a giant cork 720. What a run from Caden Ingersoll. He's stoked. The crowd absolutely loving that one.
Well, so much style. He's just, big shout outs to all his sponsors, the crew that are keeping these riders going, moving forward, allowing them to follow their passion in this sport. And Caden Ingersoll definitely doing it with passion. 90 points on the first run, had him in third. The judges now getting to work. They're lining up what they saw with the criteria that they have to the points values and difficulties and amplitude on all of those features. Of course, it's going to take perfection for these riders. I mean, this first move, that 360 windshield wiper, just incredible. And look how high he is in that replay.
Yeah, he needs to be to catch the pedals so early. And then a massive move, backflip, bar spin to tail whip. We've talked about how important this feature is. Judges have been really rewarding big tricks on this feature. And these are big, massive trick jump tricks happening on the whale tail. So judges have to be liking what they see here. Big front flip here. And, if you haven't checked it out already or you've been hiding under a rock, there's a clip of Caden earlier in the week pulling for a flat drop flip on that giant province of British Columbia drop. His back tire exploding as he takes off and just dealing with it in the air and landing on the rim, no problem. One of the craziest things I've ever seen happen on any slopestyle course. So the composure to be able to hold on in that moment. I mean, maybe once that's happened, Derek, and let's see, 92.
Here we go, 92 points. Ingersoll into second, just stepping over Chance. So incredible moments here as Caden Ingersoll taking over the lead with a 92-point run. Wow. Well, drama building here, even at the sharp end of the stick, as Caden Ingersoll, and the reaction tells you everything. How much these riders care, the passion, the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into it, and then to be rewarded like that after a huge run. He is fired up. What a moment here for Caden. What a moment for Slopestyle.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge for him and huge in the race for that gold cup that we've been talking about. But that means, Derek, unless I'm very much mistaken, that our final run to go, Nikolai Rogatkin, with that 92.67, will be able to take a Nikolai Rogatkin victory lap. He's stoked. Little pump of the fist for the crowd. But yeah, Nikolai Rogatkin, ever the showman. I don't think that he's done doing some tricks for us here today. So we'll see what he has for his victory lap.
No, but what a great story here. Nikolai Rogatkin coming into this slopestyle and just blowing the doors off, which what you can only call vintage Rogatkin performance. Top to bottom perfection. Some of the most difficult tricks on the planet right at the start of the run, and then never letting his foot off the gas. And you could hear it in his voice in the interview, in the finish. He was so fired up. Who loves this sport more than this guy? Nobody. Nobody loves it more, and he has just given that passion to the sport, given it to the other riders, giving it to the fans, and to be rewarded with a huge win here at Silver Star is only just, and so excited to see it. As we're just waiting now for Nikolai to take his victory lap. I'm sure it's not going to be mellow, but for sure he is going to be happy under that helmet as he has just lit up this course all week long. We saw it in practice. We saw it in competition. Nikolai Rogatkin on course now. He will be your winner today.
Yeah, just throwing another twister into the whale tail. Oh my goodness. Backflip out. I can't believe that he's doing something so scary, so consequential on a victory lap. Front flip bar to tuck, showing that he's got that one on lock, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, all you can say is, wow, this guy, the consummate professional, but always putting on a show for the crowd. We saw it in run number 1, and it reflected in the score. Big 360 down that flat drop. Aggressive stance on his bike as he just speeds into the lofty cash roll. Perfect execution.
Yeah, grabbing the seat behind his back there. Backflip onto that table. And a double tail whip off, one of the first we've ever seen in competition. Unbelievable from Nikolai Rogatkin. And a giant double backflip to finish things off. Squeaking it around. Unbelievable victory lap for Nikolai Rogatkin. Chilled on some of them, and then through the double tail whip. I can't believe what we've just seen off a flat drop. One of the first we've ever seen in competition. Let's talk about this run, Derek. The twister to get things started onto the whale tail.
Yeah, in a victory lap like that, he said this morning when we saw him do it in practice, he said it's so scary. He had to do it to lock in on it, but it never feels easy and it's never not terrifying. And still doing it in a victory lap tells you everything about the character of this man. And then the triple combo on the step up.
Yeah, front flip bar to tuck no hander. Just chilling with the 360 here because he's going to ramp things up with his signature cash roll, but look what he's doing, grabbing behind the seat. You'll see a few cash rolls in the competition today. He's the only one taking a handoff here, grabbing that seat behind him, kind of signature Nikolai Rogatkin move, and just winding things up for this double tail whip on the flat drop, gets the pedals, lands on the cranks. Unbelievable stuff from Nikolai there.
Yeah, and then to finish it off, this is for the crowd at the bottom with a huge slow rotation, double backflip, perfect connection into the transition of the landing, and then straight down to his good friend, Caden Ingersoll, who just stepped him out. All right, well, we have Nikolai in the finish area. What a statement there on run 2. I mean, you got it done on run number 1. Run 2, that was for you, for the people, a bit of both?
Honestly, I was just ready to give it all in run 2. After going into first, after run 1, I knew there was so many riders that could take the top spot, so I kind of didn't relax. I stayed in that mentality of, I'm going to have to step it up, I'm going to have to step it up, all the way till I was waiting to hear Caden score. Caden and I have trained together for years now, since he was a young kid. I'm so proud of him. You cannot believe. I would have been so down if he went into first and pressured me to do another run. Luckily, didn't have to do that, but had to put a little show for this crowd. They came out today on a Monday. Unreal support out here.
Nikolai, you kind of rose back up. You know, you had a bit of a tough go at Red Bull Joyride. Coming back to Slopestyle just a week and a half later, and then bringing this, you know, describe the process that got you here and what was going through your head in the start gate on run number 1.
Oh, Slopestyle is a harsh game. I had a lot of years where I had a lot of success, winning and everything. And yeah, last couple years have been tough. Broken arm and wrist. Like you said, terrible joyride, big explosion. And I've been a long time since tasting a gold medal, so I'm in disbelief right now. Not much more to say.
Well, you put the work in and it paid off big time. Huge congratulations. Fans, get behind this man. Nikolai Rogatkin poured himself into this sport and walking away with a gold medal from the Rheeder Slopestyle here at Silver Star. Unbelievable moments for the Summer Series.
Thank you.
Crankworx is firing. Nikolai is firing. What a moment here. Rory, what we just saw is just absolute magic.
Yeah, no greater spokesperson for the sport, no greater cheerleader for his fellow competitors. And, you know, like you said, no one loves this sport more than Nikolai Rogatkin. So amazing to see him put it down. And what a story, you know, Caden Ingersoll putting it down 2 chance more. And then we're just going to have a little look at our results here. Just to recap, we had Patricia Druin taking it down for the girls. And then Natasha Miller, you know, really stepping up her second run to get herself into that silver medal position. Lisa Marie Blanc doing it with the first run with 3 backflips. So yeah, we're just kind of looking back at Renata Weiss's run here.
There's just no doubt that the women have stepped into this pressure cooker and absolutely turned up and turned it on. They are firing on all cylinders. We're seeing some of the best performances we've ever seen in slopestyle in these moments that are so heavy. And let's not forget that only a year ago, the women's course, it was a silver level course. It ended before the surgeon's table. Now the entire field lighting it up top to bottom, putting down runs to remember, dropping huge scores. I mean, we got scores in the 90s for the women's field. We have riders as young as 15 years old putting down runs. The women, you know, give them the opportunity and they show up and blow up, and it's so exciting to see where this is going to go, especially considering we're only a year into it now.
Yeah, we had young girls watching these ladies warming up yesterday, had tears in their eyes as they saw what it means to them right now. And we have, you know, Shaylin Reno throwing the nothing, throwing big combo moves right now. Tuck no hander to X up. And Natasha Miller, what a story for the young Canadian rider, just 17 years of age and throwing big combo moves, and Patricia drew in another young rider taking it down here today. The ladies came here and they showed up and they put on a show, Derek.
All right, well, now we have our men's standings. Nikolai Rogatkin getting it done in run number 2. He didn't take his foot off the gas, or sorry, in run 1. He didn't take his foot off the gas for run 2. We saw Chance Moore with a huge moment. He didn't even complete a tenth of run 1, broke his bike back up, early dropper in run 2, and lit it up. And Caden Ingersoll dropping that 92-point run. Again, stepping it up. When you've got a 90 in your pocket, how do you even step it up? He did, though, and moved himself into silver behind the legend. Looking at these highlights, what a show on this Rheeder course.
Yeah, we're seeing Ben Thompson right now. He threw down an absolute plethora of moves. Backflip, bar spin to tail whip. And unfortunately just was unable to put that one down, kind of going down on that front flip tuck no-hander. Yeah, and we're seeing Alex Alanko there, backflip, one-footed cannon. Liam Bayliss, the young Canadian, he threw down today. Huge result for him. And then a massive run, Caden Ingersoll. What more can you say about that combo at the top? Just lighting things up.
All right, what an incredible show we just saw at the Rheeder Slopestyle here in Silver Star. Summer series of Crankworx blowing up once again. The women delivering, the men delivering, the course delivering, the fans, everything that we just saw was electric, Rory. You know, what a show.
Yeah, unbelievable scenes out here today. We saw tricks that we've basically never seen before on a slope course. We saw the sport itself progress. We saw tight scores. I can't believe it. What a show out here today.
Well, we have a little bit of an update. Caden Ingersoll moving into the lead for the FMB Gold Cup. So, of course, the golden ticket coming at the end of the season. There's only one more event, Big White Slopestyle, to come. So if Caden is able to replicate what he did here, he's going to earn himself that golden ticket into the FMBA World Championship Series next year. That's all stops. So all to play for as we wrap up here at Silver Star. On behalf of the Crankworx team, I'm Derek Foose here with Rory Hackett. A huge thanks to everyone involved, the riders, the fans, the volunteers. Thank you to everyone. Cannot wait to be back here again next year and do it again. Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.